tape. Gramophone. Continue. You haven't. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, I don't know whether I should continue talking again. The recording you just heard is one that is worrying, and all Ghanaians must be concerned about it. This is a scandal of unimaginable proportions that seriously exposes the criminal mindedness and lack of integrity of the Attorney General, my brother Godfred. Oh, if I have a criminal brother, it doesn't mean I'm a criminal. It also highlights the dishonesty of the prosecution in the ambulance trial and the desperate lengths they are prepared to go to secure wrongful conviction against Honorable Ato Forsen at all costs. Clearly, Mr. Dame, who as Attorney General ought to know better, was doing everything he could, including criminal acts, to defeat the long-cherished legal principle that it is better to set 1,000 guilty people free than to convict one innocent person. Again, this recording confirms our long-held position on Godfred Dame's notoriety for judicial manipulations against opponents of the Akufo-Addo regime. After many years of getting away with his shady, crooked, and underhand dealings, Godfred Dame's cup has become full, and his day of reckoning has finally arrived. Today, Godfred Dame stands exposed as an unethical, scheming, and devious Attorney General who will go to whatever lengths, including engaging in criminality, to unjustly silence, persecute, and imprison critics of his government. Dame is clearly a devious character, bereft of integrity, honor, and unfit to occupy the high and hallowed public office of Attorney General. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, why should we be concerned about this tape recording at all? As I have already intimated, this tape recording captures professional misconduct, unethical behavior, and criminal conduct on the part of no less a person than the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana, Godfred Dame. This conduct of Attorney General Godfred Dame offends Rule 13, 40, and 54 of the Legal Professional Conduct and Etiquette Rules, quote unquote, LI 2324. I'm not a lawyer, but all these things were passed through Parliament. So if I'm quoting them, I'm not talking court matter, I'm talking about the laws we pass, in Parliament. Rule 13 of LI 2324, which is on communication with represented party. Communications with represented party. If there's a court case and somebody is represented by a lawyer, if another party is talking to that person, he must talk to him in the presence of his lawyer or through his lawyer. The law we pass, is that not what they mean? Yeah. Or with his consent. And it states, quote, a lawyer shall not approach, communicate, or deal with a represented person on a matter or attempt to negotiate or compromise a matter directly with a represented person except through or with the consent of the lawyer of that represented person. Black and white, that is the law. At the time that Mr. Godfrey Dame was calling and meeting Richard Jakpa at odd hours to urge, goad, impress upon, and coach him to testify the Attorney General's way, Mr. Jakpa was represented by a lawyer. They claim that the Attorney General has been engaging the third accused directly because he has been changing lawyers frequently is totally false. For instance, at the time Godfrey Dame engaged the third accused, Richard Jakpa, in the phone call conversation that we just played to you on 9th April 2024, the third accused was represented by the distinguished lawyer Thaddeus Sorry. It is clear from the tape recording that Godfrey Dame was communicating with the third accused, Richard Jakpa, on the blind side of his lawyer as well as the court, and he was attempting to compromise Jakpa in order to wrongfully convict Dr. Atoforsen. This is a cardinal sin against the legal profession. Quote, Professional Conduct and Etiquette Rules. That is contained in LI 2324. Again, Rule 41 of LI, the same LI 2324, which highlights special responsibilities of a prosecutor, states, quote, where a lawyer acts as a prosecutor, in this case where Godfrey Dame acts as a prosecutor, the lawyer shall act resolutely and honorably within the limits of the law and shall treat the court or tribunal with candor, fairness, courtesy, and respect. Unquote. It is clear from this tape that Godfrey Dame's conduct violates Rule 41 of LI 2023. He consciously, deliberately, and knowingly did not act resolutely nor honorably. Neither did Dame treat the court with candor, fairness, and respect that all lawyers, and in this particular case, prosecutors, are required by law to do. The standard of integrity of evidence is also provided for by Rule 54 of LI 2324, and it states, I beg to quote, Rule 54(1), a lawyer shall not advise or suggest to a witness to give false evidence. So a lawyer shall not advise a healthy person to procure excuse duty from fraudulently to come and mislead the court. 2, a lawyer shall not suggest, A or B, condone a client or another person suggesting to a prospective witness the content of any particular evidence which the witness should give at any stage in a proceeding. You heard him suggesting to the witness how he should talk, how he should answer questions so they can jail Atoforsen and he will be free. This is the duty placed by law on all lawyers, including the Attorney General. Godfrey Dame, by his conduct, which are captured on this tape, clearly violates this duty and places this duty placed on him as a lawyer. Again, Godfrey Dame's conduct violates Section 315 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, which is on fabrication of evidence, and states as follows: whoever fabricates evidence with the intent to defeat, obstruct, or pervert the course of justice in any proceeding shall be liable to the same penalties as if he had committed perjury in that proceedings. It is clear from the tape recording that Mr. Dame was urging, goading, and encouraging the third accused to fabricate evidence in the form of a fake medical excuse duty to deceive the trial court. Ladies and gentlemen, we now get to false entrapment excuse that Godfrey Dame seems to be relying on. We note that following Mr. Richard Jakpa's explosive testimony last Thursday and the widespread controversy it has generated, Godfrey Dame has resorted to peddling more lies in an attempt to escape accountability. The thing about lies is that when you tell one, every lie you tell, you need 10 more lies to defend. So it grows exponentially. First, the Attorney General publicly stated at paragraph 2 of his press release of 23rd May 2024 that, quote, "The Republic has never required or desired the cooperation of any of the accused persons in the matter in which it has already succeeded in establishing a prima facie case against all the accused persons. Neither the Attorney General nor any officer from the Office of the Attorney General has approached any of the accused persons with a view to obtaining evidence from them." Have you heard it? In spite of all this that he has said, he has cleaned the mouth and is telling the public that he has never engaged anybody on this matter at all. It is glaringly clear from the tape recording you just listened to that this claim is a barefaced lie peddled by the dishonorable Attorney General and his office to deceive the public. In sharp contrast to his earlier claim that he has never met any of the accused persons, the Attorney General now claims that he has actually contacted and met the third accused, Richard Jakpa, but that he met him only once at the residence of a Supreme Court judge, and that this meeting was not at his behest, but rather at the behest of a sitting Supreme Court judge who entrapped him. He now wants to extend the lie to a Supreme Court judge. Ladies and gentlemen, all these claims by the Attorney General through his spokesperson are lies, and we have evidence to prove so. In addition to the voice recordings, we have other evidence by way of screenshots of chats on WhatsApp between Godfrey Dame and Mr. Jakpa, which further proved that the Attorney General contacted and represented a represented person without recourse to the represented person's lawyer. The charts further show that it was Godfrey Dame who chose to meet Richard Jakpa at the house of the Supreme Court judge, and not the Supreme Court judge who invited them.
So the
first one.
The date 16 February.
16 February 2022.
You know the mic. The mic.
16 February 2022. From Richard Jakpa.
I am humbly requesting.
I'm humbly requesting for a time and venue at your convenience to meet you for a private discussion, please. Then I'm most grateful for that kind gesture from you. Then hope to hear favorably from you.
Next.
This is all from Richard Japa. Then you come down here. Okay. That is from Godfrey Dame. I will arrange through your brother. Thanks. That brother is the Supreme Court judge. So Godfrey Dame says he will arrange through the Supreme Court judge for them to meet. So the Supreme Court judge has not requested for any meeting in his house. It's Godfrey Dame who arranged the meeting. Then he said, okay.
Yeah. So no, hold on.
Yeah.
Go back. So as you read.
The chart show it was Godfrey Dame who chose to meet Richard Japa at the house of the Supreme Court judge. As you can see from this screen, this is a WhatsApp chat dated 16 February 2022. Which Godfrey Dame undertakes to arrange a meeting with Mr. Japa through his brother, actually his cousin, the Supreme Court judge, through a WhatsApp message sent at 7:32 p.m. This evidence totally belies Dame's contrived and gross claim that he was entrapped. So he was not entrapped. He planned to use the Supreme Court judge to call the witness for whatever they wanted to set up. The next set of WhatsApp chats, WhatsApp exhibits 2, 3, and 4, dated 17th July 2022, shows Godfrey Dame receiving certain soft copies of documents from Mr. Richard Japa to facilitate his prosecution of the minority leader at 11:29 p.m., close to midnight. So if you hear Richard Japa saying odd and unholy hours and times, this is what he was referring to. This was immediately after the Attorney General had met Mr. Japa at the residence of the Supreme Court judge at the instance of the Attorney General. So these are documents which the Japa forwarded to Godfrey Dame after that meeting. I want to jail somebody, I don't have the documents, can you help me? If you help me, I will free you, then we can use the document. And you got all these documents, and still the document could not incriminate anybody, and now you want him to lie on top of the document. So these are documents. And in the next WhatsApp chat, WhatsApp exhibit 5, dated 23rd November 2023, Godfrey Dame is seen to have placed a call at 10:40 a.m. to Richard Japa and followed it with a message at 10:49, acknowledging a message sent to him by Mr. Japa that the case had been adjourned to Thursday the following week. Bro, the case is adjourned to next week Thursday. The man is still on admission fighting for his dear life. Then Godfrey Dame, okay, thanks. The final WhatsApp chat, WhatsApp exhibit 6, dated Tuesday 9th April 2024, shows evidence of a 26-minute phone call placed to Richard Japa by Godfrey Dame at 7:12 a.m. The morning of the day Japa was scheduled to testify in the court. The recorded one we played for you. It was the morning Japa was going to court to testify. And he was saying that today if you go, tell them this. Letters of credit means cash payment. Letters of this means this. So go and tell them. But we don't have our own finance system in Ghana, which is different from the finance system everybody knows all over the world. How can you say that letters of credit is just cash payment? Somebody has taken the money without delivery of goods. And he was pushing him. And the man says, I have my conscience. I can't do it because I am being prosecuted from lies somebody has told about me. So why do you want me to lie for another person to also prosecute when I'm feeling the pinch of how lies can be used to create a problem for you? So I'm not going to do it. You see, it is this telephone conversation that we have played to you, and it was in this conversation that Godfrey Dame, among others, asked Japa to fabricate a fake medical excuse duty to deceive the trial court. That's the claim by the dishonorable Attorney General Godfrey Dame, that he only met the person once, and that same was true entrapment by a Supreme Court judge is not only false but hogwash. You now agree? Ladies and gentlemen, following Mr. Japa's testimony in court, and now I'm going to talk about the contrived plea bargain which Godfrey Dame is using as a reason for the meeting and all that. The Attorney General has falsely claimed through his spokesperson and various assigns that his engagement with the third accused was for purposes of plea bargaining negotiations at the instance of the third accused. We want to state for the records that there has not been any plea bargain meetings between the Attorney General and the third throughout this trial. All the letters being circulated by the Attorney General in the media dated 27th April 2023, 16th May 2023, 30th May 2023, and 12th June 2023 were proposals for amicable settlement and plea from Deep Sea LLC and Mr. Japa. All these proposals were rejected by the Attorney General, whereupon the trial court decided to continue with the hearing and adjudication of this case. Since then, the court has not been informed of the commencement of any plea bargain negotiations as required by Section 162C, Sub 3 of Plea Bargaining Act 2022, Act 1079. For emphasis, aside the letter submitted by Mr. Japa to the Attorney General for settlement or plea bargaining, which proposals were all rejected by the Attorney General, there has not been any meeting between either Mr. Japa or his lawyers on the one hand and Attorney General or his assigns on the other hand. It is worthy of note that all those letters were signed by lawyers of Mr. Japa. This means that assuming the Attorney General had accepted to engage the third accused in plea bargaining negotiations, same should have been done with the lawyers of the third accused as required by Section 162A.3 of Plea Bargaining Act 2022, Act 1079. More importantly, the evidence of clandestine communication and meetings between Attorney General and third accused, which we have shown you, dates back as far as 16th February 2022 17th July 2022, when no settlement or plea bargaining proposals have even been made by Big C and Mr. Japa. All these communication, telephone calls, WhatsApp chats and all that, they all happened in 2022. And you are flaunting letters you claim were issued in 2023. That's the reason why you were calling. So, it is neither here nor there. We have also played to you a recording of a phone call conversation held between the Attorney General and Mr. Japa as recently as 9th April 2024, a day Mr. Japa was scheduled to testify in court. It is evidently clear from the foregoing facts that the plea bargaining excuse being mounted by the Attorney General and his assigns are palpable lies calculated to divert attention from the critical issues at stake. The question every well-meaning Ghanaian should be asking is, why the Attorney General will refuse a proposal to settle this case, which will ensure the payment of 2 million euros to the state at a time our country is faced with economic bankruptcy. There was no wrongdoing on the part of anybody. Then somebody says he's sensitive about his company's reputation and so on, so he's prepared to pay 2 million euros to Ghana. I say no. If I take it, Atufosi will not go to jail. So let that 2 million go waste, and I find way of contriving evidence to get Atufosi nailed. These are the statesmen we have. Ladies and gentlemen, considering the scandalous nature of this recording and other forms of evidence we have shown you, we wish to make the following pressing demands as part of efforts to restore credibility to the Attorney General's office and Ghana's judicial system as a whole. 1. The immediate and unconditional resignation or dismissal of Godfrey Dame for bringing the high office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice into disrepute and public opprobrium. Clearly, Mr. Dame is not fit to hold himself out as Attorney General and Minister of Justice. He is unfit to be the leader of the Ghana Bar. 2. The immediate prosecution of Godfrey Dame for multiple violations of the laws of Ghana. We wish to make it clear that should President Akufo-Addo refuse or fail to prosecute him, a future NDC government will prosecute Godfrey Dame for this heinous crime of fabrication of evidence. 3. Commencement of disciplinary proceedings by the General Legal Counsel against Godfrey Dame and his disbarment for conduct unbecoming of a lawyer, and more importantly, the leader of the Ghana Bar. 4. A publicly televised parliamentary inquiry into this and other reports of judicial manipulations by Godfrey Dame with a view to censor Godfrey Dame to prevent the recurrence of such judicial manipulations. In conclusion, friends from the media, it is clear from the incontrovertible evidence we have adduced today that the government has no evidence of wrongdoing against the minority leader, but is only involved in fabrications to persecute him as retribution for his strong opposition to the economic mismanagement and general misrule of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. These damning revelations call into question the integrity of the case of the prosecution in the ongoing ambulance trial and the necessity for same. Godfrey Dame has brought shame and disrepute to the honorable office of the Attorney General with his criminal, devious, and vicious conduct. He is a danger to fairness and justice in our judicial system and represents the lowest point in the history of persons who have occupied the hallowed office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice. While we have pointed out many times that Godfrey Dame epitomizes all that is inherently wrong, investing both the office of the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice in the same person, we believe that he has recklessly abused both offices and his continuous stay in office is no longer tenable. The primary responsibility of the Attorney General is to be the voice of rule of law, ensure the impartial enforcement of law, and advise the President and government to take actions that conform to law. More importantly, an Attorney General must be a shining example and a leading light for the bar, not a criminal-minded, crooked, devious, and vicious person who is preoccupied with witch hunting and victimization, as has become the cup of tea of
and what they have demonstrated this afternoon is on the text messages and I've in Koma Akoso, Ira Jakpa, and Attorney General, and in Komobi Akoso. One is text, one is telephone conversation, and I want to abidi who dance here at the Atre. Enchebia will cross over and go to the New Patriotic Party. I'm sure, say Ghana Nibia Ejibre na we're making the decisions. No comment for now. We'll wait and cross over to the New Patriotic Party because the understanding from the production team is almost an appropriate response for the National Democratic Congress. But don't be worried because we're in an election year. Clearly, some of these things, remember, the peace of the country is key. We are the judges. But fashion teams say, as someone who are air course or court, we know. We are court of public opinion. But Asempa Asante 6 minutes to the top of the hour 4. Yabekwa could try a home minute bear Munubia say Yaba Zoom Lion for Abetnase. The moment Rebecca Zoom Lion, no one come a media phone. Into ye free sir, a year break in the we have a conversation here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
General Mosquito.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
Martin, my shoe with my own back. Oh, Papa Tofu, never so being here. Now, only as coming here, Mama Mrs. Yen, I come to Musa. My way so far, so I never know. And one was saying, which me the Bushenia, only 74 years. Ever come home. Said about Asem 2 said Asem 2 me, we need to go and come with them. Sikefia, Michano Busubiano, a sofa so no. Before my pet, you know, mobile memoir, and it's so be about my bassy. Maybe dinner, a year and faso.
Monsieur Wakai say, Ora Boating, so I'm funny, Papa, I share my way insurance no more. And come for to do when Nakaoina. I said, I bring you over my way insurance no. What do boost your name up Pabako ever sheso? Everything I will hear Ukunu, Umame, Papa, Unia, and now Ba, Nipabia or dinner back on or send you pan one yashi. Foul phone, net dial is *165#. Oh, MTN so says, Sia. Send you my way, cause say no way.
You himself grow boy shit. Nanswa was so with Jiweni and one is so with the 500 Ghana cedis in Mohomo. But to EcoBank account mu or EcoBank in Krabata and now Express Point BRA Bengo. Who to me so the EcoBank mobile so now we to me di chefa wa chedia bro 1 million Ghana cedis e EcoBank million gang promo ni mu EMG. Anio every May bosu ko 31st July 2024 enipa be bro 7,000 be feely soft life ankasa be ye EcoBank customer na we yan fa wo kon kaise 500 cedis bia wo de beto account mu no wonya point wo EcoBank million gang no mu enne ya EMG enti fasika to account mu enne ya na di wo chefa wo sika ne achede be bro 1.2 million Ghana cedis ni mu kwampa wo be faswa jiweni wa brabom kwampapa ebibi man papa EcoBank the Pan-African Bank
Akradie NLA di won sa hase na ekoso won Caritas platform no so.
So for one final time
inside the final into the final.
Catch the final days of the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the UEFA Champions League and other major cup finals from May to June. Stay connected to GoTV to witness live in all the finals on GoTV. Even when the last whistle is blown, it's not over yet. Brace yourself for the UEFA Euros 2024, only on SuperSport. GoTV.
Dedo. Dedo, what are spices? Dedo, who bet they are feeling? Dedo, you remember? Dedo,
me did the dynamic ground. But Dedo spices, you what Jenny say. Then good taste. If we say you're the natural spices, and you're gonna hey yo. Annie, you're on all-purpose, stewed, noodles, curry, and nutmeg, and a jollof. Dedo spices, taste yummy, taste lemon. Dedo spices, taste gay inside. FDIG.
Senior won't you how TBR. We hear Syntex tank. Free say Syntex tank to me jine a real sakraye bia. Empire ne bono so ye kama say. When him say Syntex tank ne di kan ye double layer tank Ghana. When him also say Syntex tank Korea any di kan ye tank muda hokai. Emu fite. Na say si adie ubeti ma chere size, color, type biara wo be Syntex tank be yama. Na ninyi ne chino ikita 7 years warranty umpewe na open dien frakra e was 0244 335 168 Kumasi 0505 555 666 Syntex tank e muda hokai Syntex tank e strong e tough.
Fellow Ghanaians, did you know that it's a company that builds your house for you once you have the land? Oh yes, Kesebels Limited builds your house for you once you have a legitimate land. You pay 50% the cost of your building project during the construction and pay the remaining 50% over a period of 5 years after construction. As a government employee, you can pay part of the cost of your building project through salary deductions. Terms and conditions apply. Locate us at Plant Vales Residence, Akoko Photo, Dansuma. Call 0543 297 333. Visit www.kesebelts.com. Kesebelts, build with convenience.
Ghana Fway! Tama Fway! Yay! Asante Asempa from Champions League Fun Day number Saturday, the 1st of June. Bakaye Womi and UEFA Champions League final in a grand style. What? Havana Restaurant and Gardens. Tama Community Night. Winnie. Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. Jekukuru Giants Tripoli. City Havana. Train game number 1. Chiani Ross. Asempa Champions League Fun Day with Havana. Team Bia also supported Jesse Brami and Tala. The shares and perfect. To my family, Adum TV presenters Nina. Nansana match in the Bashas and Yumiracrano. You bet Gianni Fiano Panai. Consistent match in the Bashas. Front games are already at JDB. Saturday 1st June 2024. Havana. Asante. The radio programs are doing in November live at 50 Havana. Asempa FM Champions League Fun Day. I am powered by Asempa Sports. Supported by Adum FM and Adum TV. Sponsored by Juango Energy Drink. Keeps you going. No fears, no limits. Syntex tank. I am tough. I am strong. Franco Trading Enterprise. For Papa Fee. Global Lighting Center. Your solution to quality lighting. And Kania Papa Fee. Jama Detergents. Your partner for clean clothes. Asempa FM Champions League Fun Day. Hashtag Asempa FM UCL Fun Day. Jack, my Asian aboard.
Kai, who has striven to build an empire in the world of men, loses everything. Everyone thinks she's gone for good. But Lankai is back, and she's filled with vengeance. Don't miss out on the epic return of Madame Season 2, showing Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. on Aquaba Magic, DSTV Channel 150 and GoTV Channel 102. Aquaba Magic, Ghana's most loved.
For 15 years, Quick Credit has been your trusted partner in micro-lending, empowering lives, and making dreams a reality. Today, we're excited to announce a new age. Quick Credit is now Bills Microcredit. Still committed to serving Ghanaians and changing lives, Bills is here to show you that everything is possible. Join us as we embrace a brighter future. Bills, financing your needs.
What expects the hyper bonus be a bit dry a broad draining tiasa so my grana ye dekeke. Yenya so be accumulator better. We couldn't give bonus on 1,000%. Annual 1,000%. Umpe we na upe change. To mikako onexbet.com.gh. They use the promo code HYPERGHANA. Now 300% bonus. It will do 3,445 Ghana cedis. Now also nya hyper bonus. Gambling what fruit to try to wash a year. Ma wa wundi if do work. Hear me come.
Bro, Regnant Properties and Investment Limited Estate in Sasono. I was semi copy between Munimuya. And a Yantemwa na wun. Once you dear, 25% discount. Hey, Regnant Properties and Investment Limited in Sasono Pano. Anne, there were Horizon Gardens, Gomwaposon, Accra Winneba Highway, 5 minutes drive from the main road. Grove Court, Gomwakramai, Bay Villa, Awutu Breku, Accra Winneba Road, Ebisu Dodowa, Amasaman, and a downfall. Now, who top prayer be on Media Banner say, and Nipa edu, you are making me a cabo mabatons as Nibiano. Bosu be a 500 Ghana cedis per when out there. Wow, a bonus from Kama. Aye, Regnant Properties and Investment Limited. Who try 30%? And to us here, which mission would I see us? Which we are free site plan and indenture. Wednesdays and Saturdays be 5 a.m. on my mom for a mom kosher site home and shake a crab in a home. Regnant Properties office no. Our Ivan Kaswa Aqueli. What's the new market noir? A year for 0549 54 45 10 and 0540 46 12 76. Regnant Properties, your property, our priority. From where hearts narrow. Soft drink palm in the quench in the test narrow. You want the cola, orange, lemon, vino narrow. I'm a feeling cool, refresh your body narrow. Non-alcoholic flavored cola, orange, lemon, vino narrow. Narrow Cola, Orange, Lemon, and Bovino. New non-alcoholic flavored drinks from Narrow Beverages. For bulk purchase, contact 054-5300-811. This advert is FDA approved.
Silence the Akasia Ghana for your power jet battery on a Noquari. And Fisa Mekai, Master battery media, or discover power jet battery. What? Mekanya Missy Kwamuchi. Many battery issue at Tonquanta by you. And it says, any power jet battery ambassador, me Momona Profoca Quansmame John Pomodi. Namaka for power jet battery, Mama who said, battery power jet car battery. The Rocks Ventures Nakofaba, Omwa Shalom Sport Runabout, War Community 18, Sprinters Road, Frelmo 0208-090-789 and 0242-314-774. Obenya Biswa Shama, Kuwanaso, Ochinenti Enterprise, Afi, Battery Shop will be a Wabusoka, Kumasi, Kwame Choba Enterprise, Pampaso, and a battery shop will be a Waswame Mazi, Amako, Macro Junction, every Caswako Winneba Junction, Swedro, Magazine, Takwa, the Jasper Bia, Power Jet Battery Day, Power Jet Car Batteries, oh, put that day. Ghana for why ready ana Game Park Limited a lottery company for ewa Ghana Kroma e dia grow for Abeja na e sase every 15 September 2023 so aba da wakoma so every the number 1 Ekosiisen 36 chani boom na share nim say wo be disika bocho wa bra ye number na pie bobo wo na ye ready say wo be di mula wa bra wo twa from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 cedis na face kana wo be twa no fa bo wo predio no nsia me tire 26 times e was up pick one game yimu but star 946 hash e networks ni nyina so ana obetimi download the Game Park app no e wo yen website ni so www.gameparkgames.com share live draws e wo Adum TV anopa no nkron ewia dumienu e na nwumre no nsia debia Game Park more mula more power Sagodi National Lottery Authority in Sashase undi mfie du nwoche a endi sago ibi bono wa hwe yiem
Asempa FM. Asempa FM. Asempa FM.
Omanhene, Kwabena, Asante. Omanhene, Kwabena, Asante. Omanhene, Kwabena, Asante. What I say, what carry I want it. Omanhene, Kwabena, Asante. Omanhene, Kwabena, Asante. Omanhene, Kwabena, Asante. What I say, what carry I want it.
7 minutes after 4, hi Asempa 94.7. Very soon, I told you, we'll be crossing over to the headquarters of the New Patriotic Party for almost 1 inch moon, Komubia 1 day by far. The National Democratic Congress almost come on at the NY. Yaka said the Zoom line for I card on a terrace one say, is it Emma Ajua? Apia or say dear. Wow. Emma Ajua Apia or say dear. Ajua free. Oh, okay. Actually said Oh wow. Ernest Morgan Aqua, yes, Ernest Morgan, the Director of Communication and Corporate Affairs, Zoom Line of Ghana Limited, Ajua Osaidia, and Ajua Pia. Okay, Ajua, but that's it. Ernest Morgan Aqua, Public Relations and Corporate Affairs Manager, Zoom Line. You know, Moodin Comos Mabe, Duka Krabina Fe, Quenya, Atway, Jumedino. So, Mamma Qua, by a Zoom Line, if you won't come on by a team. Anyway. Yeah, man, your sempa no be pianti. Ajua. Mo de. Mo nanti si anything.
Radio do we ho ye na na dia fam na ya adwobro.
Papa. Enyua pa. Enti mo ba makachi awie ya. Enkomo no gina de so. Enkomo no de na awie e be dia for. Say you say ye monte so. Ene ye fifi bi e be kama na.
Afi nso tichu ni nsuo ni esi form. Nti Omanhene ni e kaka ye ho say esi form no ni enhwe na ye nkrakra yesu mo na ni ye.
Okay, so myself is a medical business. Is to top dress said here. Na a better yet me akra a year a home insurance so because I say the insure to is nearby and you may be a day by a mountain so a better yet macra sadian.
You me that say, ye di kind say. A son said me no de bia ye den cry a bekefi. Best a kilo bako, a munchi mumi and samumi. E wo say ye pe ade a ye di ye nwura no ebegu oza baya sisu no hyase so ototo ne ho ne ma no apadaka enti no wani anya ba ho so say wo ba obra wo da bia wo te ende no ape konko a wo de wo nwura wo beka no ebegu enti wudi gumu sa no ape ne ni ti ebu aso kama na nsuo to a ankota ho ama ampro enyihwa anase anwommo atese ntefre ni nkura na oma meha wasomdwe fise no be ma nyarewa nketenkete bi a enka ska odi ba akoko no e ka ubotomu ananka wokọ wanim afi so se ya nhwe anje nkonko yi bi amfe ngura ye nwa unwura ekọ abonten medi ekọ abonten abeku di ekọ abonten na edos nsunsu anu twa na de akọtwere blog bi a etim gota no mu na afi nsuo no ntimi nkọ ubehu ana nsuo ne na baabi a wompe na chese ayiri no enu nti na ye kaka ye ho nsutobre se ye hwe ne agi bola chansi ni
well okasi ye kaka ya so din ana so refi ya so din ko bribia na wo ze zubla for crab boy the beans sisi monti bebre ezo be kono beans ho na odi bibia to nche be kono na ade ensem fata se odi to bean ni mu no mu no de akoto bi it is abre dia futu ana se dia ho be ka kire ya ebe me ahunidi atimi akoy ya semi ya pa
nukre ni ameka tichiru ni se no efi na ye ka no ebo abeda so enu nti e wosa wo hwe se ne awo ankasa wo fi na wo be ka no wo be chichechechemu enti ji sunmu nchansi ni be no mienu ana wunya wo de waje baako no apɛ bottle bi na de rubber no agu baako mu rubber no hote a kofo bi wo ho a baako wo ye adwuma ko no fe na mako omba mabeto ni ama kakra anya hwekra betumi de atoro isota sache no baako asande akofi na ne pro no so wo baako mu a eno no e ma wungura na chempo ansana ayema na afi so ama yetimi anya ho mfaso bi se bia mi nya ho mfaso de a ebema ayema kono se mehwe na metu ho anamompa na ebia say me ya no mato agu ni abefa de kokeke no masan tu ya ho ka no emma enhye mi nkran nti ye no de no
mo kan mesa bisa ho abiem ebia ma enti ase ene yesi fi ayeye no ebia ne enti ye ho ase fi ehun sunsuaso ye the pluses and the minuses ye kan fi wasema mana mo ntu amutu no ena akwanya we abeto titru sutobere mu no obachire me Kwabena Asante ni meti for mahwefo say ekwan ben apart from the enu ba kasafa ekwan ben biu ana ebetimi afa ye be kwara because na atwe mu yinan ase ni misem baba na no na otwe twam ne share san komo na se boapayom se obi didi se obi se be oja de nine se obi edidi bibi omo anakim na wato akum monten so e be dey etimi asesa sa su no ehun se esusuaso ni ntimi papa bye
yo me da se nya kakra me ka fa ho se as individuals na say you make sure say in run na ye no you betumi reduce e free baby a reduction of waste in run na doso nipa bia nipa on daily basis no we produce waste about 700 grams we share Ghana population over 33 billion. Then it means in a day no Ghana nkwa ye 23,000 tons of waste on daily basis. Yes, I will share this quantity of waste. Na ye can say anam sa quantity nti wo ma ye reduce waste no. Na ye friend waste no betumi dey ayenuama bebre. Se wo ba hwa embre bia basenko ye nkwala no. Na ye kai say ye ma menom na ye nanan mo kodwa so a mkita basket. No mde kodwa so. No akoto ndoma ni nyina egum. No mde aba. Enda wo kodwa so a wo mfa hwe nko. Wo to ntosa no machichiri no rubber no atomeko no machichiri rubber
bibia rubber
no we are ma rubber kase no the rubber nketinketi nyina asen egum wo be fia na me say wan kwasa wo koto rubber nti no wo tete a na watu egu na no so abaye nwura nti as much as possible you reduce sand your man say wo kodo between the basket akwa fa kono koto ndyo man egu mo bra
e feel say zoom line oh and what's my problem?
In some but yare ne ba
to twini and say oh na zoom line e be na
yare ne ba e be chi zoom line for nko a e be ka he nyina nti say he nyina ye boa say aduane kra na wo koto a ne obi apete ka we container mi wa san ka wo koto wa chi na say wa ceramic bowl bi ana bibia na kwa koto egu na che say wa chi na wo koto ye no wan ye nwura but see wo to aduane a wo be di no kra no na wo gusu ye nwura na ye ka say yes ye reduce waste no na ye to me and reduce bi ti say car tire ni ade that's am ko man bi fie we use it car tire no we do in toast ni flowers na ade wo or the tire no we paint no the black soil egum reusing the waste ye ka say ye sisi akra ye ka say ye ni asase a ye di nura ne begum ni bi am ka ye tu kwan ko adepa eastern region round trip is about 100 kilometers just to go and dispose waste. You could go final disposal sites wo na say the power so no ehwe ma in run ye de be kwahin nti muma yembo ne yen reduce what we call waste no as much as possible so that ye to me enya baby and also ne aye ye friend waste ye to me so adane ani e de aye bibi papa e be bo ahe nyina sa na inso tutoi say wo hwe inso to a inso no twe ne ho pe no hu sa plastics na nwura bebre e go no why na edikogum ebinum kra no omuntua bola ka ebinum nim say bola na ye no ese wutua ho ka nti omutumi keeping nwura ne say onim say o nsuo beto enwumbre nsuo to no makofa nwura no omde gu nsuo no mu
ajo pie say yan kra ye ho yie ni ende ye ho ni yie a e won sunsanso bo ne bi wo eso ana
mira e won sunsanso bo ne papa kosi say de di kan e makro mu nyefe enti entwia hoho momomba so ma hu nim sa hoho omba omuboto mu yeda e na ma yenso yedwa ekoso enti se ye bo omugu no ma enkoso obi obo so pese okodi go ba bi e wokona no so hohwe na sa ma me no nso wanya kakra ka ne dada onya ne ho afei so emwe ya enwura yi be wo won ni afri ufie na akotchoku gota mu ho no entefre ba kuhye mu nkura kese ba kuhye mu omo beba wa usu ofie eno nkonkoda no ensuo no anko na ayiri no ebehye wa homete e bia na ayiri afa mattress bia hu bida na anu ya de emi hu se na onipa ba enam drain kese bi mu ndem se afa de ho ne edware ena obi ka chem say da bi o wa priatom enti sensu sumuna ni nsuo no musa na chese ye ntia sempa enti ne ye pa ka nyina ne say jitu mu say wo ka fi de wo betua efi no ho ka am ya twea ko na mansuo no nso so enya ne kwan akone baabi na obia enya na hoto anya sa na egusu bobre ya ye boy ya hu dia minyi ni say ni kasem bi na ye pe no
you remember the positives in terms of a clean environment but solid waste disposal and our management in times like this say ni sikono
me na se ni edi kan wo be ye wadwen se wo betua border na waka no ehoka na adwen ni sipiwi a wato ade a odi begum get the receptacle bola bin no GB na fa wumura no fegum na fa ehwehwe contractor o ye adwuma wo mantem ho enkohwehwe contractor na ansa wakoje bin no because e bia na wo kohwehwe contractor na nsu ato nti GB no kotobi na fa ngura no gum na fa akopɛ contractor no ne naka na wo ne naka bo ne fi sɛ no so wo nyanya sa contractor no ontumi ntu na fidie no ema no abefa engura no amam na afa ansa na no me de bɛka ho sɛ wonyanya border chance ni bi pɛ boto bi na tew rubber ne ho na ma ne pro no so enwo faako ne aka nyina nso fagu faako na yenhwɛ sɛ ne no so ebɛkɔ nafa wo mo bɛfa no na wo so wutu aka no na oman ni mu ete na aboa ye nyina.
Well, maminka bibinka mami makana contractor na oka ho asem no per contractor ye wo accredited contractors wo ho embri bi bae no obia sorry a unya sika kakra na wakoto aboboya ye wo aboboya groups wo ho espanoma omo hwe cooperatives a omo hwe aboboya afo na ye wo nkofo bebre a sisi a omo ankasa na omo ato aboboya
no mudi
se na kofa nwura na because omo pentam ekotu nre na egu abefa for agiske into ofa nre na wo dan n'anima na wakọ dan n'echi na okọ hwe egu dan n'echi nsuo no to a na push from a dan n'echi no asen ebegu dan n'echi nti dan na waye nti se say ye ehia nyina ahia so di say ye be find out omo fa nre no omo fa omo de kwahin but ye say omo be fa ne keke a omo uhwe motorway so a obi anti motorway no so but motorway.
I wish you're brave because I think everything I call wrong or Ghana in terms of Fimbiano Zoom lion, but I think it's more demarcations be any payment responsible for
increase mechanic crash.
Yes, because almost everywhere I'm sure some baby a few bianas and Zoom
Accra ye were 86 waste contractors Accra
86
yes. Na woko assembly bia na omo obi bia your friend franchise area na omo twa or ha say Zoom line be another company be another but akoye say woko to toothpaste na also we to pep student nti obi anim say toothpaste there but toothpaste there we ko pep paste
but refuse company obi anim say Zoom line okay I see the positives it me monte so tia the positives they be there when ifa
e be ni say e benya sika baba man mu because say be say wo tu kwan kwa bontin a kwa abrochi a wo say ho tia it doesn't mean so omo yenwura but omo akura nwura ni ye nti ho ye fe ye pese ye kwaje visa na tu kwan kwa Europe pese ye kwa America because wo kwa wo to me relax environment ni clean nti see to me boss abre bi wo ha nkofo so baje visa abagana and sania anti makan no say omo ba order the dollar say ba na wo ba sesa no obeto gobe kakra obekokruma akoto bibi kakra then etimemfo no so omo nya sika na eboa economy no nti hunyia pa na yare a edi covid bae nka kan obi a lockdown bae e kan obi a nti ne ye beye ma sisi ensuo toi plastic bi nko hye kona bi ensuo nkogum a onpan ntonton no si etumi yesa de na yare nka tinketi a yenya wo man no mu no eso bebrase na sika na wo de be ko hospital no wetumi de aye bibi foforo a ebeboa wo
antiba ebia na your numbers bi because ebrene esasa ebia na your numbers bi ebetimi ato asan kobos bi gidi say yes into problem we mompo ba be din komo ebrano but say obi person of frame no to ankomo no so akira numbers bi ebetimi de nyana na
me da say dia yesese abefo ntentan so ayakwenti yenso ye de akire bi enti no ubefra na wabo *857# uba eni bi no be kasa na open ntem abo anu aka option 4 no eho no ubenya numbers aye different kasa ahoro ba miensa wo a so pese oni onipa bi di nkomo a ubenya obi ni na di nkomo na aboa a kire kwa abefa so a ubenya bola chance ni bi kwa abefa so a ubetua ubola hoka eni ne ekeka ho nyina.
I see. Morgan obi ari twa to okra.
Ya me di betwa to ani say as individuals ehnya yem bomodi ni enya ade aye de bekra yinra. Eye mbrampo wo Ghana say efie bia benya bi. Nti say e besre aban so enforcement no on be hye kina na nke ya hwehwe fie na say e ba ofie na wonya ade aye de bekra nra ho a chese wo ka on na nra no ekogu gates ni mu no.
Ernest Morgan Aqua, Public Relations and Corporate Affairs Manager, Zoom Lion. Ana fi yemami Emma Adjoa Apia Osaidia Idiede Emma Adjoa Apia Osaidia Mubana Mabudi we to be able to hoba popo for ideas or man Emma Adjoa Apia Osaidia. I'm so happy. I'm in love with the name. Director Communications and Corporate Affairs, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited. We are grateful. And so June, July, I see super top. Into most more Jumana Pija. We need more of these visitations and education. Very important.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so that's Zoom Lion and we'll be crossing over soon to the headquarters, New Patriotic Party. Now, one also the one Komo Morgan handle Okafantipa. Okay. So yeah, cross over and Chebia to the parties, the patriotic parties headquarters. Now, Yakuti one so on and so on become very soon. We are crossing over. Power jet batteries. Ekosokai say the Roxin Ventures for the day. Abba one sole distributors of power jet car batteries. What a chakwa Shalom Sport right about. The telephone is 020 8090 789 and 0242 31 47 74. Ashama Koana so a Chinenti Enterprise and crying so every battery shop and Waboso Kai Kumase Kwame Koba Enterprise Pampaso Anafi every battery shopper a magazine Swami magazine Amekum Macro Junction Hona Nebiato which power jet batteries no Nano Dana Koso Kao say EcoBank's EMG Million Gang ono abadwa so de wo ye nyina ne se ene se ukuda a deposit of 500 Ghana cedi bebia odi kotubia EcoBank account bm say EcoBank Express Point say EcoBank account bi ade tum anafi EcoBank Mobile one edge atum na afi wabeka achede one was so kase pa no but we need up to a chin over 1 million cedis both in cash and in prices na what we bia no na what we menu ntembia no achede sonko a yede ma okwan sonko so ebini vouchers ebini shopping vouchers ebini airtime any achede sonko pa there so we say deposit 500 Ghana cedi into any EcoBank account, no be part of the EMG Million Gang, you know. EcoBank, a better way to enjoy life. EcoBank, a better way, a better Africa, and EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Yeah, corner, you need door masters so actually a year and Komo. Akosia Paradise, or I'm say door master representative, spokesperson, or Akosia Mahe na hoye.
Yeah, media, Yamia do.
Bibia kama.
Bibia
door master adwuma na namne kwa bibia ko kama adanse e bakama
Nyamia dumunti door master dey say dey baby obefe bia no enye kasa number 1
okay
say apono papa any paint papa fie dey na door master.
Okay, so specifically door masters dey na moye
Mame fa enchi akese ema ekosisen etiefo ene ahwefo enyina door master ejumaku kese a ewo oman Ghana mu na yechimu po nyina ne se yebeton apono apapa edi ama Ghanafoɔ ewo amanone na empo obi bia wo no kra no wonfiri wo manyimu na apono ho nsem ehia no enti ye ka door master dia ejumaku kese a ewo Ghana ha ye modern bo enti Ghanafoɔ na ma ya be number 1 no yen ya ne yasan abepie mu afidie kese eso.
I see. Into door master, Mujuma Mudi Nani Apono.
Me pacho an ye ton apono na ye ya nsusu na ye san ye professional paint masters into bo door master as a wo de ebo baako ekumu no ma bebre
professional paint masters e mo de mo paint amoton
me pacho an ni so ye ton paint ewo yaso ya ba bia wunya sa paint ni bi ewo ho ebize ye na ewo paint atimi di chu dem ho ye so cozy enti obi we condition ane dia ne se wo bo prepaid ka paint bia wo hia no age se wo bo professional paint masters
Kawebo mame door master for the professional paint for mo nche bi wa mo de egu akwama abaya djuma for ankwankra obi wa no person to be bad ohwe so buy se bia o to doors makoma ko 20 ni na bebe 20,000 mo nche bi gu akwam se ene otua we na afi kakra otim de training na wiana
Medasipa door master said ye me di kan e kan ye no e adwumakuo kese a apono ho adwuma e na yeye enti ene wo bia wo papono no ye ho e na omudi omani ehwe na de na so odin so no obekwa akoto de enye papa ansa na waba ye
nche de na so odin
se obi wo ho no mu a ye ka kire no a wotimi ko hu bi wo baabi na osi o we de mamento eno no aba no wasan beka na mani hunu no e de a kire ye na chese waje afebo apono na door master ya pono a ye wo no ye wo exterior steel security doors ye wo internal steel security doors bulletproof doors armored doors bathroom doors wooden metal doors wooden panel doors glass doors flash doors and afi apono bia wo hia na sabre ya make say ye the promotion kesie bi ahyehyɛ so a ye friend no May Rush
bosome me ya
na ye di kosi June ya san di June bosome no aka ho na ye trimu po nyina ne say na nse ye hwese de oman ni mu asifa yesesi kasem ne niema yatoto so ne ade na ama ye nuanum ni bebra wo mu si dan eye for men efira for estate developers masons for project managers bebre na ya o madwene se omu jadwuma na to ho na emuju a omasan ato aso na emuju no se sabre ni nyina no na eniema kwa na ekosoro enti door master dwumakuo ni tena asese ye di promotion kese we ebe hyehye so ye May Rush promo no neginamu akosi June busome no se ebe ko na wieye ye trimu po nyina ne se ye boa omanfo na omaye omadwene senka omuja adwuma na omoye na to ho esansi kasemu nti no ya tete apono ne so ama wo mu abetogu ho na wunim adechie emu nsem nti promotion ya ekoswe no ye friend May Rush promo ye di kosi June bosome no ewieye na we no interior doors wanka wo beto ne bo a enya sem ketua ne ya chemu mienu a ye kase ya obetimi akoye website www.doormaster.online na obewu se ampa promotion kese no ekoso pa enti promo ne ho asem no eno no ba bibia wo no betimi abore showrooms na wakoto interior doors ya ye ka ho asem obi wo ho obebu se na interior doors no eno ene de he ya pono a se wasifie no de wudi sisi ampono na no wode hono mu ama watimi ada asumdwe mu de ye bathroom de ni nyina ye wo bi ewo yaso ye na ye bi yapono ato ha ma ankrankre project managers foremen for estate developers will be apono ho hia no wa wonim say the whole Ghana ye door master.
Okay, so me pe door master mo no ma papa ne bi mo apono ene ppm ne paint for ho asem bo
me patron
me pe bi ato a he for am di mani kire
me patro door master branches bebre a obetimi abara ho na wato apono any paint bi no manfo ni edi nkomo se omoto apono wo ye nchen omoto paint wo ye nchen nenso so no ebedu bra omo pe toilet seat no ni ade no makoto de sebe enye papa na emwa wom enti ene ya san de la serious toilet seat abekan yedwumadi a yedi ho your vanities ahodo de odc bathroom de odc bedroom ni nyina eye door master enti ubo raya so ya wo to apono apapa na woto paint ya papa no na woto la serious toilet seat any vanities ne sanitary wares nso so e de aka ho ye showroom kese paano e wo Pobiman Akra Kumasi Kwantimpon so a baby affairs na ye tow boot no tow boot ni se baby a na ye tow e wo Pobiman no e no bedru obi ani ho wutwa wani hwe onsanifa so a eye door master yen ena ye wo ho no mu a obetimi obawura ho no abeto apono paint ya papa any vanity sanitary wares ama bibia aye kama ashalaja 3rd October ehonso ubehu ye showroom kese suhum fianko about 500 meters away from Islamic Girls SHS no ehonso ubehu ye obeye ye wo ho ACP ACP Kwabena ye ne Beshem Temple no ena edi enhwanimu ti se wo tema na wo tie mu wo prampram wo sphincters wo shama wo pon me pa tema community 25 hono mu nso ubehu door master ye showroom kesepa wo ho in Sawam Adwajiri ena afi in Sawam Hospital Road ho nso ubehu door master kaswa for ye nyamumu ye wo kaswa tipa junction wadu kaswa na adu ani achirem se wo ko Liberia camp kwan ne so no ye wo kaswa tipa junction na se ye wo showroom kesepa wo Kumasi a o manfo e Asante Memu said your mo bogie so no enye asem ke 20 e wose ye bohu dawuro na wa wonte ye no hu ni said door master ye wo Kumasi edwenase kwada so edwenase ubowura ye showroom na wo ho no so bibia ope a efa no apono ho no ubetimi enya ne kama
Mo numbers na fe wie adwumadi
me ba cho ye number ubetimi afre ya no pe wie numre door master any professional paint masters 0542 745222 0542 745222 and as a 0500 212447 0500212447.
Okay, so akosu abese si number CBM so ba oni mo na bo piki. Also person breaking the doors na obeto doors no. Honorable piki impression I say also breaking the doors na obeto and the doors near stubborn. To be so breaking the obeto doors.
Ye ni beje pass Honorable Davis Opoku ansa o pese obeka door master ebusua no ho efise se no ono ankasa ne na fufuo bebre yen ya ne edinti mu apono no ede ama wo mo enti se omo nkan kire ne de a ene na eye ni gye se sabre wo betutu na apono no na wabeto apono a eye afebo ofise yen ya apono no manhene ebi fi Turkey ebi fi Israel ebi fi Germany ebi fi China as wo pe luxurious doors wo pe durable doors I san ye affordable dia na eye door master because obi timi ko hwe apono no online was na me amaba pension die apono we die minti bi ntobio nenso obeba no eno behunu ne se ampa eye door master ye bia ya apono mato na die nti a me kanfo door master dia ma obi ni se ene ba bia befa bia ye twan apono nenso obi wo ho no mukra mpa no no okosua ase bikua ye ho adwuma ne ne wako bia apono shop door master eye professionalism ne didi dwuma nti nipa wo ho nyina no eye wo mo a enimu de na beto ade enso wo ye nchen na wunya hawo ye make sure say mprimpri na ye besesa ama nti warranty nsusu ewo honomo ewo apono bi a wo beto ewo ye nchen nti nsu ye tufu a ha wo hu nkotu apono ewo baabi a enya papa ewo se wo ba door master na we enya kasate nti borra ye website www.doormaster.online and afa ye number si na kwa ye WhatsApp status na ho na obehu sampa adepa eneton ho fa ho hye promotion we mu June ending penny de abawiye na watimi ato apono papa ne bo no ewo
yen komo na we ya nisa name master planner junior say me musa say more side chick door available ara
me pacho Omanhene sa apono no ye friend ni di ankasa ye pivot doors na apono a efa ubowura obi office anka obi fanche no de nti a emrante na to ni din sa na ye pono bi a ya ye ni semienu obi fa mfimfin na obi nso timi fa nchen
obi fa mfimfin fa nchen
yes na ni din pivot doors na mrantie okroma so din foi na o matu ni din side check door timpacho obowura ye showrooms baby a ye wo side check door kama pa 0542 745222 0542 745222 and I say 0500 212447 0500 212447.
Akosia Paradise and Kasama Door Masters. Watch your dentiers over products are Door Masters at the Abba a year. It just no watch your baby. One in Krabatas. We are crossing over soon, but you could see a year and Kratoya by a bar will be at the headquarters of the New Patriotic Party. Kwabena.
Say Grobwa she. Nanswe we say we jiweni and one is say with the 500 Ghana cedis in Mohomo. That will EcoBank account mu wo EcoBank in Krabata and now Express Point BRA Bengo. To me so the fa EcoBank mobile so now we to me di wo chefa wa chedia be bro 1 million Ghana cedis e wo EcoBank million gang promo ni mu EMG. Anio every May boso me ko 31st July 2024 enipa be bro 7,000 be feel soft life and kasa. Be ye EcoBank customer o. Na we am fa wo kon ho. Kai say 500 cedis bia wo de beto account mu no. Wonya point wo EcoBank million gang no mu enne ya. EMG. Enti fasika to account mu enne ya. Na di wo chefa wo sika ne achede be bro. 1.2 million Ghana cedis ni mu. Kwampa wo be fast wa jiweni wa brabom. Kwampapa, ebibi man papa. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Akradie ena lady won sa shase. Na ekoso won Caritas platform no so.
Malaria fever, typhoid fever, body and menstrual pain, cold and jointed, loss of appetite, mono, say a punua,
tonte yenno nsane e faadwen ne e faadwen ampa say na nanu nim se brebi beba ama tonti na 74 opa ye ne simple T74 abeye aduro tonti na 74 ana T74 asa twe yadwene asina nanom dodo so se de na dodo bua ma nanom enyare basabasa no saa na tonti na 74 ana T74 ebo anipadua no e ma immune support enti obi onum bie no abrebia ne ho den tonti na 74 yi nso yaye no se nsuo krokro wa kama enti baby a wonam bia obetimi de wade akọ samene wa ankefi na ekroyi eda no nko na wie ye wa bra mennom T74 samennom tonti na 74 menya hoodin mennom ne dabia T74 yi eye hahama ene ye de aye na DHC ena aframa na ye kama saa no T74 ahoodin ni apomuden ko a wokọ pharmacy ana baby eto nro bia ubenya tonti na 74 yi bia to T74 yi enye ma oba wa fafuro ana obi a oma nufo ana se obi a onya mfie dumienu eto phone 050-162-8931 and a 0246-073-498 FDA agi ejedi nkrat.
So for one final time
inside the final into the final. Catch the final days of the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the UEFA Champions League, and other major cup finals from May to June. Stay connected to GoTV to witness live in all the finals on GoTV. Even when the last whistle is blown, it's not over yet. Brace yourself for the UEFA Euros 2024, only on SuperSport. GoTV.
What? March with my Omba. Papa Tofum, never so being Yaska. Now, yes, come here. Mama Missus and I come to Musa. My way so far so never know. Sikefia, Michana Busumiano, a so far so no. Before my pet, you know, mobile memoir, and it's so be about my bathroom. Maybe dinner, and for so.
I say. Abrevia obey my way insurance no. What do boost your name up pabako ebe sheso? Me trust so free munko dia. Ebe call mo. Na wana we hear my way insurance no dear. Ebe call mo abra wonko yade kwankro. Yade ananko ehia ebubu agu a wo ye wo ho hwea enye. Impo wakoda yare sabia ebro na mienu. Se wadi 18 ekopin 59 a wo apomudin a ubetumi abeka my way abusia no. For phone, net dial *165#. Oh, MTN so say sia. Send my way a. Kase no way.
Hey, you're the up and coming landlord. Who died yes where you?
Kwame, I don't mean you. Aka roofing and a ceiling. Na me contract anon so say. Me feni na enko dan rocksters. Wonso wo kromo pan. Wo dwen ho sen.
The contract an won nimni ekọ. Ghana ha de e ba no quality metal trusses, roofing sheet, plasterboard and na POP ceiling dia. Eye rocksters. Enfie bebre ni na rocksters. E di roofing sheet papa ne ho aka de asum Ghana for.
Enka ye say ya no mu die nso ebo.
Eni adufudi achi na nkoto ade bone ne Sundache. Fre 0544-338041. Say metal trusses, roofing sheet, plasterboard and POP cylinder. Fre rocksters na won twa wontum.
For 15 years, Quick Credit has been your trusted partner in micro-lending, empowering lives and making dreams a reality. Today, we're excited to announce a new age. Quick Credit is now Bills Microcredit. Still committed to serving Ghanaians and changing lives, Bills is here to show you that everything is possible. Join us as we embrace a brighter future. Bills, financing your needs.
Lankai, who has striven to build an empire in the world of men, loses everything. Everyone thinks she's gone for good. But Lankai is back, and she's filled with vengeance. Don't miss out on the epic return of Madame Season 2, showing Mondays to Fridays at 8 p.m. on Aquaba Magic, DSTV Channel 150 and GoTV Channel 102. Aquaba Magic, Ghana's most loved.
1xbet the hyper bonus be a bit dry a broad draining tiasa so ma grona ye dekeke yenya ni so be twa accumulator better won kudi be hu bonus nko aye 1000% anio 1000% umpe we na wo pe dien through me kako 1xbet.com.gh na use promo code hyper Ghana ni now 300% bonus it me do 3445 Ghana cedis na wo so nya ye hyper bonus ni gambling what truly twa no wa hwe ye ma wa wundi mfie do what me
Ghana Fui Franco Esa the electrical appliances for Frabejaswo washing machines, Asian women yopo, CCTV cameras, and need all clear. I be you know that several mobile phones, this are iPhones, Infinix, Nokia, Samsung, any the account, anyone says you see now. Franco, in Albania the papa, ne water phone say Franco air conditioners, every 1.5, adequacy 2.5 horsepower, Samsung Franco TV, every 32, adequacy 85 inches. Franco, Essence tabletop. Double decker, any chest freezers, and change na mahoden kwa. Hisha Franco Kwabena be a benwo. Name of head office, a wada braka. One in Roxy Cinema ne dia nimre. Friend 0246 422 338 and a 0555939 Franco electrical appliances papa. Effie.
So for one final time.
Inside the final.
Into the final.
Catch the final days of the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the UEFA Champions League, and other major cup finals from May to June. Stay connected to GoTV to witness live in all the finals on GoTV. Even when the last whistle is blown, it's not over yet. Brace yourself for the UEFA Euros 2024, only on SuperSport. GoTV.
Ghana Fue! Tama Fue! Asante Asempa from Champions League Fun Day number. Saturday, the 1st of June. Bakaye Omi enter UEFA Champions League final in a grand style. What? Havana Restaurant and Gardens. Summer Community Night. Winnie. Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. Jekukuru Giant Screen Polia City Havana. Check game na Boman Siani Road. Champions League Fun Day with Havana. Team Bia also supporting Jesse Brami and Tala. The share some perfect. To my family Adum TV presenters ningina. Na sana match never share you miracle. Ya ben GNF Fiano Panai. Consistent match never share. Fun games are already at JDB. So say Saturday 1st June 2024. Our Havana. Na Santa. Your radio programs are already in a live at 50 Havana. Asempa FM Champions League Fun Day. Powered by Asempa Sports. Supported by Adum FM and Adum TV. Sponsored by Juango Energy Drink. Keeps you going. No fears, no limits. Sintas Tank. Aye tough. Aye strong. Franco Trading Enterprise. For Papa Fee. Global Lighting Center. Your solution to quality lighting. And Kania Papa Fee. Jama Detergents. Your partner for clean clothes. Asempa FM Champions League Fun Day. Hashtag Asempa FM UCL Fun Day. Jack, my Sharabot. You say Grobo yes. Nanswe we say with Jiweni and one is say with the 500 Ghana cedis in Mohomo. But to EcoBank account mu wo EcoBank in Krabata and now Express Point BRA Benwo. Who to me so the fa EcoBank mobile so now we to me di wo chefa wa chedia be bro 1 million Ghana cedis e wo EcoBank million gang promo ni mu EMG. Anio every May bosomi kosi 31st July 2024 enipa be bro 7,000 be feel soft life ankasa. Be
ye Ecobank customer na wo yamfa wo kon ho. Kai say 500 cedis bia wo de beto account mu no. Wonya point wo Ecobank million gang no mu enne ya. EMG enti fasika to account mu enne ya na di wo chefa wo sika ne achede bebro 1.2 million Ghana cedis ni mu. Kwampa wo befa so agi wani wa brabom. Kwampapa ebibi man papa. Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank. Akradie ene lady won sa shase na ekoso won Caritas platform no so.
Asempa FM. Asempa FM.
Omanhene, Kwabena Asante. Omanhene, Kwabena Asante. Omanhene, Kwabena Asante. What I say, what carry I want. Omanhene, Kwabena Asante. Omanhene, Kwabena Asante. Omanhene, Kwabena Asante. What I say, what carry I want.
47 minutes after 4, I Asempa 94.7, Ekosiisen On Asempa and Yeguso, I'm saying, Enchebia Makacho will cross over to that of the new patriotic parties. So, one also on us, and Koma, one also Womayeno, FA Attorney General NDC for Central for Asia, on their mind. And we're chilling to Makacho in paying for Eternity, lawyer Henry Nanabuachi, national organizer, MPP. Dr. James Kwabena Bonfe, Executive Director, Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems, and a Managing Editor, the National Forum, TNF, and a lawyer Baba Jamal, Onosuka NDC, Abin for no home, Chairman, new for no, Onosuba Babetransi, na Yatway and Common. But good one is that Regnant Properties and Investment Limited catch us say so but twice I say pa and they want to make a baby ono a hard dream pa Regnant for catch us say one say now one to discounted that's only 25% off one will be in the board for instance open asase or Horizon Gardens a go more partner of Accra Winneba Highway now 5 minutes drive from the main road and also I want to say Roof Court and also Gomwa Akraman off the Accra Winneba Highway. Just 5 minutes drive from the main road. And I want to say Bay Villa, a Wutu Brekuna, and also just some few minutes drive now do a main road in the so. One say on Sasso Dodua Amasaman and Ashalaja, and also Mansoon Bia anywhere. The hotel plan is what maybe will excite you. The hotel plan is Enipa Bay Edu Anamobru Dunamakasi and na Busumi Biano member Bia Atria 500 Ghana cedi. Busumi Biao. Ubia etia se mo buru dua mo ka mo bomu na mo ko buru dua anamu ye dua bosumi bia no 500 Ghana cedi intino matu this the ahoto plan no sa hihye wo mo de ato ama asukufo insurance ekueku na abanyuma efo se de be ya mo ho betimi ahare mo na motimi edi mo djuma de ntie se one Regnant Properties and Investment Limited edidwa and say ebribia odi o hamu nchemu aduasa 30% deposit ode beba na o shase asi o dime afeso bia hono so no achiche kwanum kama ya titi mu kama bibia de na kwemu ana afiye ma free side plan ana indenture se utue wia fe memenda ni ukwada bia no ye ma wakwanya free of charge ema otimi site honum anopa no wotwe anasa adwumadi wi yedidi djuma Regnant Properties one work castle Aquili just after the new market and as a person from us number from here 0549 544510 and 0540 461276 and 0537 7116 number ni BM 0549 544510 and that's 0540 461276 and that's 0537 711617 now what you mean Regnant Properties for an Investment Limited Eddie a year in Kitaho Yakope entity Shronkokra ntetia sonko ewo sa enyuma me be keka achewi dedikai fashion design technology, they toss jewelry design technology, they toss be me a product design and entrepreneurship, and they toss a 9 digital media and communication design. Scientific we no Asante University College of Design and Technology Edinburgh. Inti say ope a diploma, ope degree, and ope certificate. Asante force men cancho sa kwenya kese we pa abeto ediamo. Asante University College of Design and Technology on the scientific we in amount. So ope degree, so ope diploma, so ope certificate. Our digital media and communication design, our product design and entrepreneurship, our jewelry design technology, and our fashion design technology. Musu our programs very practical and making sure say focus more on the skill that provided with the relevant mindset which media dijuma your choosing a career. Yeka said the July 2024 admissions are still in progress. Inti ko na only one including kita woni jisa entity omode ma Asante University College of Design and Technology in their co. And I say WhatsApp line here 0540 0540 124400 0540 124400 and I say aucdt.edu.gh/admissions. Now, what you mean on a digital? Asante University College of Design and Technology, design and build a nation. Almost awesome. And number course about Deuru say Sintex tank, and it should be your preferred tank. Say open size biana, say open layer biano. Layers no you the double layer, we have the triple layer, and we have the quadruple layer. As many as inner layers are once open so one bit message about kama. Sintex so say one nationwide, and they have over 300 people one 80 jana one name miyaho donina. Fre Sintex tank for on 0244 335 168 0244 335 168, and I say visit on social media handles no at Sintex Ghana, and I say shop online so www.sintexgh.com. Now what you mean on Edin Kitao. In just a moment we'll cross over, just like I told you, just a moment we'll cross over. Then what you know, I be your phone to me. I bet say Tabia Heba Mr. Ekutia malaria or Kwanstrom Kusukra. Tabia herbal mixture Ekutia malaria or Kwanstrom Kusukra. Sansuna Pesoya Beman Kasadia Tabia Takum made with no alcohol. A war ana a day afra 100% organic, and Tabia Takum. Sansuna immune booster no Tabia zone care as to boost your immune. Tabia zone care, and I saw your muswe timuzulia Tabia herbal capsules. It make sure say Oberfre sa enyumekoi outdoor na otimi no din kita ho sa number we so 0243 686861 and 0245 7492 0 Tabia edi engita ho one other roma anasa malaria ne de kaka wina no ye tu na se prekope edi afri ho edi ama ho. We are back to still medical catcher say, and it is a day of press conferences. The National Democratic Congress one also wanted the one Juma the press conference na bre Asempa wana kanyina and say and they will share the akosu wo Ghana ya Attorney General era Godfrey Dame one era Jakpa nyoma bi akosu na one the one gidie ni say so hwa dance a one kura Usha dance ya wonu kura na hwe dia koso pa ne de makenkan akere dia na bibie dia dance se era Attorney General issues about misconduct and the kaka ono akoso nti as I say ohwe na asotwe ne si a osi forms no otimi adwene ho biem na wotwa samfo yin nso akire Ghana for well yebema inu abema Gogwa Asante atna si wotwa mfo yin akire yi kwaku edidi nsem na chia na awie wabeka yensa wo hei yebema na twamfo yin akire se de eye nyoma kofiti anopa ABC Sabre ya aye meno ekasano. And let me quickly also remind you that soon we'll cross over to the MPP headquarters. Na fi omuso sema mude brain one team edia brain. Kwaba.
Me nipa so for Asante na. Omanhene Asante. Me juso.
Bibi ayi boko.
Nyame adom bia boko.
Fiti anopa o.
Fi anopa e call to e ko ha nye enda from nye.
So anopa what happened?
Well, the court so Richard Japa, he was expected to make cross-examination now all last week and this answer in a buy. The expectation was to pay over to us a high court, a justice if you say was a butcher our court of appeal judge, but chief judge man special warrant say case radio on international our high court. Let's say or to so but the corner you say in February interlocutory issues about up because of that the court was unable to continue the cross-examination of Richard Japa, and we understand say minority MD's lawyer for Auto Force and Co are even trying to file application be getting the court say omo attorney general any no fit answer mo so on resigning as attorney general at least in same court TDA he should step aside and let other persons at the department continue. Because of all these things, the case could not continue. See, if you say we are no, judge say Samijan fee, it's original answer. Samijan fee, public gallery more, be a and court of appeal judge with certain with additional responsibilities as a high court judge. I can say also in an answer now on Sebi Bisano. Oman sorry fee be otina ba doc no be a cross examination obegina no man ibegina ho ana obisa ne say nsemme na waka kire nsentwe for fi emra asemi see award ana asemi je fi bisa say Asempa bena or can because waka nsem bebre ana judge ne dey tu nanim say before call beba ho no sami je mfi no eda ya award na oba courtroom ho that time be because judge ne say ohun sami je mfi say sami je mfi ewura court ho that time no na cross examination na ma jakpa akoko na nsem no ewie kura nsa na sabi jemfie ba nti na nsem a all kan ni sibre wo hin because you were not there and you were seeing but some of the lawyers intervened so apparently sabi jemfie was in court during the cross examination he stepped out and then came back nti no the court obi ano no nim ho bi nti judge no e ma no kotenase be 1 minute judge nsa ka chense on sorry njina ho na assembly na osako kan wo media interviews or no na judge na court say waka bibi say attorney general in fact to quote English say exactly what the judge said. He says if judge say asema what is submitting fear can say if someone can call the accused without his lawyer then he can call the judge. Say attorney general bit me afre accused person you Richard Japa I'm not a lawyer and can want to say judge cry or as wait and somebody feature mu say one kasa if the attorney general can call the accused person without his lawyer then he can call the judge but okay say if someone or the attorney general can call the accused person without his lawyer then he can call a judge say one can the judge or can a judge that is only judge we are or tia seven so and
but so to be full be or able to do the
with me judge be with my friend and one seminar on your maka but judge just if you are so about you know in fact the quote again is Sami Jemfi should be responsible with his commentary around this case. In fact, he went back and forth. In fact, judge kasa ni Sami Jemfi di na so kasa person cheche ni nsemu judge ne say wo ba me court a o twema me kasa wie ansa na wakasa nti e go back and forth. In fact, for almost 5 minutes Sami Jemfi was on his feet. Judge ne kan waka so man can see me can see nti former attorney general Marietta Brew appear upon no court obi and also original na so. In fact, before about original na so na judge no akase na oye prosecutor before obey judge no a prosecutor tama prosecutor na Marietta Brew appear upon and a attorney general into him ni pa na the former boss e attorney general department nti Marietta Brew appear upon is original ho say sa back and forth here journalists for ni obi a wa hire hwe bi enye nti anka judge no enya nto boase kakra na samenya bi nso nya nto boase na se ombeka asem igwe echi kra mo na judge no say o we dey any problem se courtroom hire na obeka asem na obeka nyina nti Marietta Brew appear upon try say anka obeka judge no say okay omo sameje fin so kana no ntum na judge no so and tone it down a little bit. The judge did not budge. So Marietta Brew appear upon sat down and said that okay, this is your court to manage. You can manage it the way you wish to do so. So the judge issued a stern warning to Samije Mfise. In some a court case here regarding Dr. Atufosin. He should be responsible in a statement. And yes, Anna Samije Mfise fighting back say he has always been responsible when it comes to this case. And so he sat down, the court was adjourned. And then the judge called Sami Jemfi, Marietta Brew appear upon, and all the lawyers representing the various parties say, "Oh man, the chamber," so that they can have a conversation about that. Especially when one stern instructions and warning say, all the lawyers and the parties to this case, so much say, "Omon Sam Gekaimuno, enko fabi enko to among Falvimu." That's what Chinebi was trying to judgment among Fabekasibia judgment, you know, akosi because of. Attorney General and say because of Ubinti. No, judgment or better there. Or better. Near course of Bontin, near course of courtroom hall, evidence in Kwanebe, every affecting in writing the judgment. What people see outside will not affect it. But a month for Kosuki can say, I'm sure not trying the judgment. A month for Koka say, it be an BBC. So, a specific case of Richard Jakpa, he was in court, but he did not take the witness box to continue his cross-examination. Just that there was a stern warning to all the parties on both sides. Say they must ensure say in some kekanye ni ehun sema ekokono omonhwe ni ye na say ama indigeneity in semi ango sine be ya e ma case ehun sensem ango yi Asante. I see. So beyond that, you know, court we know also granting interviews in command. In fact, Samije Efi still spoke to journalists. He said say he disagreed with the judge. If the judge makes a point, say Onwaka say the judge, because on the Wakan say a judge, he did not talk about this particular sitting judge. But as far as they and the NDC are concerned, they continue to make their points when this case arises, so that the general public will know all that is going on. Any Attorney General, then Deputy, go for Alfred Tuya Ebonso Kasaye, or say Attorney General has no plan to resign. As far as he's concerned, Attorney General has no plan to resign. He's currently on official assignment outside the country, and that even calls to investigate all that is happening. It is baseless. And see, the Ekosiise or court. Okay, so you have to come on. So fortunately, lawyer Sami Jemfi Abeka is communications director for the NDC. Lawyer Sami Jemfi Kwaba, you know what he's saying? That's it, go man. Minister Dajeni. Oh yeah, Obomodia. But to start with, Kwakwa Santé reporter say there was a standoff between a judge. What really was the issue?
Oh, so I don't know if I can call it a standoff. I'm saying, and the proceedings in the ban, you know, my lady called me to come to the witness box. I'm say surprising kakra, and she asked me say at the last agenda date, you know, time Ben I'm back court. When was I in court? And I tried to find out when was I in court, you know. My lady respectfully per time I try to understand the question. I was not getting the clarification. Then Obisa lawyer Eduji Tamaklu. Lawyer Eduji Tamaklu answered the way he understood it. And I were court at the time in the course of the proceedings. Not so there be me by actually Abrana my lady say me by actually craft Abrana court in the WSM. And lawyer did you see there be? Me buy nti ocheche mu no my lady cast oh okay no free say bia na mini court na court no etna sem can be etna se can be we ansa na meba na lawyer did you see there be because say Jakpa adanse no bombshell no drop us no dem wo ye menya kakra nti that was bia na my lady eni fa me so kakra nti my lady cast okay sade akotena se okay so no echi no my lady raised concerns about public commentary. Kasa ekoso, efa and assembly da court no. Na ne worry ne say hwe na obi akokan bibia ebegu court no hufi. Na asemo a odi no esa na asem na yebasa na akwa court no. Indi kebe ya yento ni da na yenye circumspect. Ne numu no na lawyers ni bi ene no kasa se omo de omunye boni bia ato forcing lawyer Dr. Bass say ye boni bia nti my lady kasa ye nyina ya fom ye nyina ye nya my lady say afanfa ni nyina afom na Tadio sorry so no de onye boni bia the client Mr. Japanye boni bia na lawyer Aziz Bassett Bamba say the client nye boni bia Dr. Ato forcing attorney general na ko issue press release akoke cancel afa Dr. Ato forcing nti enumu no enem se lawyer ba ko bisa se na my lady Asempa ben pa na wate a enu nti na o kasa asemi no yes on kai bibia ba wo mu a o kai bibi no so o kai nipa obi ka se if the attorney general can go and see an accused person without his lawyer there then that person can see the judge na why na kasa nti my lady bisa na ben prince and na me obo mi din because me cancer to obo mi din na be sorry my lady say the me kan ne dia
na pese uti dia
ene baby kakra chima to bi aba ho because me can say if Godfred Dame can go and be meeting with accused persons on the blind side of their lawyers this way there, then he can meet a judge, a registrar, yes, and specific. What do I say? Because with accused person, it just will be to me. I share will be just to win the case.
So to me, will be say bon.
Ultimately, will be a you did not say court. I will say what micro no. Now all lawyer. Now as a mrenim for Ghana lawyer penya. Unimu mrane se ni pay wo lawyer me pese me ni din kita ho a lawyer for mra kire me se me ne lawyer na nkasa enye nipa na court udi na asem no na wutumi ni pay eye meeting nipa na say at odd hours anadwo ahomache dia ene me wo the right to express an opinion say nipa bia ni su ne ban tesa no ene obetumi aye bibia just to get what he wants, and that includes meeting a judge, a registrar, a worker of the court just to manipulate the judicial process. So, and yet the judge say I was talking about the judge.
So you were not specific.
Yes, and later on, I mean it's been clear the judge I was talking about because Godfred Dame Nankasa the spokesperson. Bakasa was joy. So Godfred Dame say no ni Mr. Jackpa wo baby na ye Supreme Court judge. What is MPP for nobody di me money di. And a friend no say o mra ni fie and o ko ni fie na Mr. Jackpa be ambush no. Na just say Dame e de me bo abrem say Sami Jenfi ampa mitimi ne judge fo hia ye meeting. It is Sami Jenfi ka say Dame can talk to a judge or see a judge. That is what I was talking about, my lady. But I think say at the end of the day no in principle court be as a dreamer or person and say about the sanctity of the administration of justice woman. Asem koso court judges and person will be allegations GDR or man for court muno e be free ho so na good court na nimu ase enti self futu ne de e ne kwan so anemum the specifics no e na me ne my lady nya adwe na yeso ye ntete no say omo na tete as lawyers my lady or child or law school enti say my lady can be na me nim say enye sa na maya. Even though ideally you don't have to banter the judge, you know, and I was not even at the bar, I was at the bench, I mean in the gallery, engaging the judge. When people said you shouldn't banter and all that, but I needed to draw her attention, say, dear my lady Simakana, I didn't say it. This is what I said, and what I said was right. Because the Attorney General, this is the evidence I have. And so obe to me you wait there, and you obe to me you wait swaka. And now he has proven me right. Say I dear me can't so be to me who judge the registrar and the evidence on one case. That's why
okay, so
at the end of the day, you know, say it ended up with an advice, and then I was invited into chambers and I met, and I can't talk. The ethics will not allow me to talk about that. Everything is in confidence, but I can say that everything went well. Everything went well. Yeah.
So what is the NDC seeking to achieve with a press conference?
Omanhene. Intention ya yebo brey menim say ade ba ko pa ebetumi ahye wo pa ne say onya ade no bi bebo ni sirem na ode asemato so ye wo bi no mo kra sa obi ye o mo sa masa be like they become a different person because yeah and we see me onyame boy no enyi anyema ode ache ye pa esombo no Omanhene ye nyema bebre but emunyemu a ehia pa enkwa your right to life and your right, your personal liberties. O fan who dia was a ultimate nante free eye de opibia. And so be say wabo micro no ana waye bibia ma oban abo ka abra wonim se wonye sa na nipa no ede wakogina court se court ni wasem na ye ntwe waso ye mfa nkoto afiase a eya asem kese de ye kanyina ne sa Attorney General ye de ye free se atoforce onye hwe ye de ho adanse nyina aba but ye nya court na be den edibua enti se Attorney General wo de wo say honorable atoforce aye bone a court na bo nkuru na for wadanse ye den e ka ho but entiatia Ghana mraso emfa kwati kwan ne frakadam kwan so se obi emedi adanse kru mu ento atoforce nso no nkoda fiase wo yesa wo ye nipa bonini wo yesa you are a criminal any set position the bia kese as Attorney General no ye de wotena ho enti ye net said ye promise na o man de adanse na ba enframa bo ama kokoto ada ho we anya kasa
this is a one-sided dancing na wodi aba
one-sided what won nipa ba ko no kwa phone call
but say no we are going to subject that conversation and recording it
do
the
count any question on this matter
me see to achieve that's right
maybe even give you an account that was not even in the press conference.
Okay, good.
You see
good
asem Richard Jakpa, any honorable atoforce, any Nimana, former chief director of Ministry of Health, they were arraigned before the High Court in relation to this ambulance trial on the 18th of January 2022. And Yema or mobile. Yema or mobile no. And now, Jakpa, Okofa court, net dying crata buy for surety, send a bear, or for Philip bill conditions in your job. Na woni a police for say ya che woni embassy be jawa ode adan na asasen krata kra ba na fe ne ye ko hwehwem ye ko validating the lands commission one way ya obedam na wotwe enti ofre ni nua bema ni nua bema no moja oyi Supreme Court judge say we intervene and ni nua bema no frɛ Attorney General and Attorney General intervene ye ne ma ne bail boni bi anim and okoy and on send a message on the 16th of February 2022 almost 1 month after he was granted bail. And the Attorney General said, and I say, I will need an opportunity to come and meet you. Na my side of my story, no, much. And Assembly fit as 2022. Attorney General na in his response, the WhatsApp chat number, I will forward them to you, Omanhene.
I have them.
And on no catch Jakpa say, I will arrange the meeting through your brother, the Supreme Court judge. It is then an MPP for through Asase radio, through newspapers. It me beka say Godfred Dame enim Jakpa wo baby and Attorney General be invited and say omra ni fie oko e na Jakpa so ba ho when you even without the knowledge of the Supreme Court judge was the one who as far back as 16 February 2022 proposed to arrange meetings through a sitting Supreme Court judge moko meeting no then Jakpa explain the side of the story to you and na wo ka che Jakpa say when we say abai na yemfonso odi ni hu fita onye boni bia ne documents o wo nyina no mfa ma wo na fa ye o case I say okay any you free asem ni mu e we say oh there be you do submission for no case all the my just say tapes ni wo bebre na ye bo ba kope you do submission of no case e be hwe na ye jaw because ye jaw sisi e obi abeka sa to force in the penalty and ye prosecute case no so Jakpa cooperated with him you do submission of no case ye nya Jakpa. And Jakpa says, you gave me your word, and I'm a cooperate me the documents amount. And see, again 23rd November 2023, Attorney General, I will name Ghana, I will name Emra, and so as lawyers of Fred Jakpa, and also made the WhatsApp chat number 1 minute call. Say on spy on the second accused. No man information as to court or betting me nonsense or spy or man information. Godfred Dame replies, thank you. And on 9th April yao 9th April 2024 Jakpa say oni mun cooperative biem omo na meetings more than 4 forcing him and promising him say case ni be dey we no will make sure you be acquitted just cooperate with us now we ba be open with defense and can assembly say can he say what about the say you be say question go ya no say Attorney General case ne ti ase na di wadanse in that way na emwa ma Attorney General case no court enyintum. Now at the end of the day, or say it will create no difficulty for you if you accept the deal, if you accept my position. Now at the end of the day, and the Japa say, I dance crew na person min could did you can you name? I said I was saying about letters of credit and you know credit. I said I was saying about all the things in the contract me say and you know credit. Oh, thank you, Miss Senior Crabber. And to me can sa and ye or for them say, oh, that's how they know how it won't create any difficulty for you. And to a course my edu baby na me Japan. No say masa. The entire the open say me mean to me and say me answer questions in the way I open say me na. Me do obi a wonye boni bia be kwa koto afiase. Me so asemi mi wo mu bidie na me pentia me ba be di santoro no. Enti me to me nyeda oni me hia kono bo oni nua no edin Supreme Court judge ne din. Oni me hia ni free bebre. Wa ka kire me se me nyewe. Me to me nye. E wana da me be ka se wo de e phone so. Enti me nim so obi kura record a. Enti wo de say but the make no se o kan ya kwa ne se menti ase. Na fe de oni de nwa kura. Godfrey Dami sanse me pese me tu kwan nti wadanse na wo kwa kodi no triana twim just a protract say na be ya wunwie by a certain time when are we a lawyer how can a prosecutor be coaching an accused person as to the duration of his testimony why will prosecute you know was wa bokro no una wo che say me pacho me nwie by this time now wo pese wo tu kwan why can't you tell the judge so all adjournment or deputy lawyer tuya yebo a me krom ni very competent. Evelyn, my friend is saying, DPP, no, Director for Public Prosecution. Obiabe to me, say we took can't they stand in for you? But Atoforsen must go to jail at all costs until was a Godfrey Dami at all costs. And therefore, he tells an accused person, say, oh, try na, I dance here, you slow. No, say, oh, me documents those into my better so. Beijing the judge and the bed, Ebeka. The amount Amobia Yemuashin and say, Godfrey Dami goes on to tell him, say, oh, ube to me the medical excuse duty aba. Enti Japantin, you know, oh, say, oh, the medical excuse duty, but say, oh, yare dia. And you know, what's your debut una for medical? I say, I mean, them come for medical excuse duty. Ube say, my lady, issue bench warrant here, mechemiana. Look at an ordinary man, not a lawyer, not bound by any rule of ethic, telling an attorney general, somebody who is supposed to be the leader of the Ghana bar. Samasa, the open say me here no, me ya me ho be kire me. And in fact, section 213, 214 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act say, if you tell a witness to fabricate evidence to deceive the court, you are guilty of the offense of perjury. It's a second-degree felony. This is the man who is our Attorney General, guiding and coaching witnesses to forge medical excuse duty to deceive courts of competent jurisdiction. We've given you the WhatsApp conversations. If it has no Godfrey Dami, we issue statement on 23rd May. We say court. I said we ready to so we court to and accused person idia dance here. We swear the said the make an no kre me litra yam fa me court to afiase for perjury. And I say Attorney General, we are maybe a Pandora's box so. Wo and I want me share at all times. Impressing on me, say me answer questions, say na we see penal. Na at of force in Koji na me say menye. Section 6 of the Evidence Act. Any lawyer, obeka sa asem na fa ne ho nim say enya no kre. The lawyers will say it is scandalous, it is vexatious. Me boy lawyer nyeza na yakano. They will move the court for it to be expunged from the records. They will leave in our object is not admissible evidence. Because the law says if you want to object, if the evidence is objectionable, you object timeously. And from Anfaso. Damn it, throughout he couldn't object to Dean who put attorney so. If you court what about the issue statement? Paragraph 2 say Attorney General Shia Jakana accused person be a da or Attorney General Siki any of the accused person's cooperation. And there was evidence number. Once will be a Godfrey Dami or your trophy or your dada for. Dear now they can be. I've a real check around a plea bargain. The first proposal for settlement came from Big C, the foreign company and the supply ambulances. Omonye party in the case, dated 27th April 2023. 27th April 2023. Dame, you started meeting the guy 16 July 2022. Na plea bargain 9th April 2024 yan and kasa 26 minutes. We've shown the evidence. 26 minutes score. I don't know record no. Now kwano court Jack pe court sad dana kwa kudia dance here. And I won't coach there was no plea bargain. If there was plea bargain, there is no way Jackpa will be testifying because plea bargain because we are court to Asante to give the parties time to settle, to bargain. What do you say? Until once he was going to court to settle, there was no plea bargain. In any case, all those plea bargain letters were signed by Jackpa's lawyers. It is not person plea bargain, Jackpa lawyer and Indonesia. At all material time, Jackpa has been represented by lawyer Kosa, lawyer Oben, and the distinguished Thaddeus, sorry. As at 9th April, not the lawyer and Thaddeus, sorry. Why can't damn it Thaddeus is you? Wadamfo. And if why be mufita question now we see person answer our questions. So why don't you tell Thaddeus? Because you know say Thaddeus is an experienced lawyer, and you know say you want the guy to incriminate himself, and he has a right against self-incrimination. Thank God that this is not just an ordinary man, but an ordinary man who had his facts. And age no pushing me say not enough, and you saw that on him contract ni mutiad assembly secretary age no the assembly court. You saw how he was educating him. The age was at some point asking him questions where you say no what training where you say no what training what the assembly court assembly wo kan kra won tiase. So ye can say Mati say MPP for say ye pese ye dede na ye jaya to force obi ani ho assembly mundi. So most the to force ye boni ye ni na asem. Nobody is calling for discontinuance. But if the Attorney General has misconducted himself, breached the legal professional and ethics rules 2020 LI 2423, like it is done to all lawyers, he must face disciplinary proceedings. And if he has told a witness to fabricate evidence to deceive a court, he's guilty of a crime. MPP vote in interest and country say MPP mu go for that me bit my Attorney General. And to mama you go for that me now the deputies now the best lawyers no be no be prosecute case. We don't need such a criminally minded, devious character to be an Attorney General. Yempe discontinuance for your court to be an attorney for we complaining. Because we have confidence, irrespective of the challenges we have. We have confidence in our lawyers, say, and God will say, Adansi and Nebeba. For your panelists are here. My senior brother Baba Jamal is here. My own say Minuya Memenda Kwanreni Kabila Swaba. Me say Obama Yonko Done Biakoye principles no are guiding the commentary on this matter because it can happen to anybody. Me Abaya Sesa na NDC Aba na ya Attorney General odi we could the MPP ni bia I will condemn you. Ufi se nipa na ye body. Mo na mo say ya bokro no ambulance na e ba e trotro hwinim and obi am pictures ni bi. Ambulance o mo say ya trotro hwinim no. Ya show pictures.
But say ambulance. We will verify all those things. It's not what the NDC
says. Well, my say come on no say yeah verification no
because mo match
them. Verification no.
In fact they are
mama ya ma bill of lading enye ma medical supplies abatema port for 8 years aban we say yen clear because you clear yen to mean build a case of financial loss against auto forcing.
Okay.
Because say ambulance no hwinim nti se honye ma ba Ghana sika ne dia to enwu port ne mpro na me dia asem we twato na me ka se bi ntro na wo hu se asem we yotan hu no okay atu esien bank be na oda no aguye no
atu esien
is it capital
yeah
mensa utabel bank good ono Bank of Ghana na ma musika abra o makwa ho kirem billions of money ena aban hwehwe mu kire se sika no ye na basa there was some day no mu kwati mrade ye de ensem fata meboa aban sika o onu pono a onu jitu mu se me di for please say I am guilty no Godfrey Dameka say any aban we ka say ya man the time o metu sika no ti asem ni yo o metu sika no tu sika na ye de no ho ache no how much more this case aban sika nko ato force ho onu kwa nkoto ambulance o ye adwuma as deputy minister of finance and the Ministry of Health to ambulance and omo contract say we hear letter of credit and the boss say take per se mama instruction konako it related to Bank of Ghana to establish letter of credit Godfrey Dame say enye se tepe na authorize ato forcing and as se tepe na aba court say me na me authorize no omo say letter chere say we na authorize this yes ebe minister man the deputy adwuma wo chere letter But letter now to force in train, said Tekpe as the finance minister seal na chance to this so. And I said Tekpe personal secretary in Kwane was a seal no. Letter I approve you can get the minister of finance seal. Still that may say go you can say to force in authorization. As a meaning knew he didn't have authorization at Tekpe. And a company now or the ambulance in the buy and say across my camera. I say no ye ni bi. But some way betting you go because your business will be brimha into your per settlement. Most of my bokas and 2 million euros. Okay. Your ambulance now must say papa no. Mon shepe imrae mu 2 million euros any asamfa asamko. Abina ye ready say to force ya wafa Bank of Ghana sika beti nye tuafa no wedi. Abina 2 million euros and she yempe ato force in kuje.
Okay, Sammy.
Asam sebe mi dibisia.
Mami na say
so on say chinchina che we be kojo we all dia kwa wie. The first attorney general in the history of Ghana, the secret tape with a criminally accused person is prosecuting about Bonte, telling him to go and lie to a court to deceive a court. What be that? From the days of Papa Nevenze, your former chairman, Ubeda Samuamo, attorney general, Baba, even of Uta Okodwan way in America. I go for the attorney general. There was some dignity in the office. Mareta mo Betty Modomo, Martina Midunum. What the attorney general be secret tape or no criminally accused person who prosecute you no? Eye can answer no answer this answer.
Medasi Dr. Kabila.
Medasi Minia.
Yeah. Doc. Say translate. So does you mean daddy. So now some okay want it.
Also you me
see me that company. Na me can say so yeah.
Dem you free mo.
What say?
Okay,
let me say you don't can play that on me. You see. Na me person kamini me bisa na se biasa na.
Okay.
No, don't worry. By the ethics of your profession. Say lawyer maranini okwati mumra ne mohihye ya edian anamona wo ana obibia esese utu.
Okay, so lawyer maranini in the course of a trial,
not in the say I'm not me, I'm just
otomra yes, otomra number 1 general legal counsel for no omo anka so mo otumi so mo hia petition omo abetimi afro number 1 sa asem no so ya asem we wo court wa judge na anka so etimi pause so say yenye mini trial to determine the veracity of that who say bibi wo mu a eye serious a ono so betimi refer wa ko general legal counsel and na ankrankra bia so asem no owo ho adanse ebetimi di akọ na ade ba akoso so a lawyer ni tomra obetumi aye so no say obetwe oman ni nyina adwan ba so ho ebi ni press conference no bi amusa akoi sa wonye ni papa ko ya ye de taxes money ebi ni nyina anya mutually enya exclusive na ka se fa petition ko na ma mutually exclusive ye be press conference
Omanhene the empese wote ase minia and say the court of public opinion will be to the effect of your propaganda agenda.
Any program, because you are here. Hold on, as a high court.
Mami,
what did you attempt? Kabila did you attempt? Kabila say, Ejuma woye ni henya na court of public opinion and that propaganda.
I say
maybe you disagree.
Now who disagree? Yeah, ni hana propaganda.
Or say.
Now we are court of public opinion. Yeah, ni hana propaganda.
But you
are not
all the
that's the first point.
Why
are you trying to deceive? That is irrelevant.
You see, Kabila have to go down. Principles in
the Kuma to me to penny for but a foot to a wood to Nipan say a foot to none the council.
What is the point? The statement you have made here, and I will say this, now you have your time to talk. It is very wrong. I want to choose my words carefully, to say kasa in the court of public opinion is for public propaganda. And a political party there, and a Godfrey Dame now will issue press release in order propaganda now. And the young TV stations and radio stations, you know. Because you can't court of public opinion. Do you know that justice emanates from the people?
But why?
The court of public opinion, even judges will tell you the importance of that. Maybe he's belittling what we are doing here. So when the officer chair said, "You can na masenya kukudu naka," officer chair said, "A press conference, I any radio so kasa ni na no." A court of public opinion muni ye kasa ne ye de propaganda, and I am telling you that kasa ye can radio so. The can TV so the can muno. It is an important aspect of our democracy.
Let me tell you where you are.
Part of accountability.
Let me tell you where you are. What say Godfrey Wadame? Why good no go fin say in this of twice would be assembly. Court of public opinion cannot do that.
Why? We have the right place in between.
I'm telling you. Yes, make a choice. 40 days when you say person. And now we say go for your boy dame.
But no for
no ama say you know ono ankasa hoden ni tumi a ese so okoso edidi asem no wa bre na se enti no ani se okoso biu ena wo timu pa wo de yes ha no ye wo akoniasa mama mabisa wa ma wankasa wa kire a wo betumi afa so ama asi ni sa kwan no wan fa mu bia de wo ye ni se wo se o ka kire o manfo ena me ka se the effect of the whole culture man for no say wo utimu po a wo kuta say wagu ni hu finti eni so ka asem bi mu en na obe achieve but say ampampa on koso nya asem no court no there ufanya manu see here and you are sitting here you see Omanhene mamika bibi Oman Ghana ye nyina ye dia o enya amanyuku kwa bidia ena sabi omo ye amanyuku ahodo no kra no say ya manyoko ya manyoko ya Ghana for ya adwin say ene ya manyoko sem krapen ya nye biom ya Ghana for to say mo ha mo ni Ghana mutumi nchan ye enti wo che wadwen Mr. Machre madwen but me catch you say to the extent say ya won hihye ya utumi famra kwan so bra nipa no esin ho kwan won fa sa kwan na obeka kire me na me so me kamejo na e kan gu mframu mu a eye to a propaganda effect
yes you are
the here the absolutely and to be seen ho kwan
can I respond to that
lawyer it's you
in the first place no okay mama nchetiefo am say me ba chekakra what the genesis of
Baba Jamal like I said maybe
etiefo mfantime Baba Jamal same mban nganye se ni okofo be ya kana me ka jose same akasim nina. You see, how the whole thing started.
Okay, one fan here call MPP for press conference.
Communications Director also here with us. Last week, we heard a lot of spurious allegations, manipulated facts, distorted narrative. Hard-working attorney generals we've had in this republic, very intelligent, very smart, and no amount of shenanigans, no amount of evil intention against him will suffice. Now we have here today the NDC addressed.
The press. What is believed their talked about was released today. Clearly you could see that it manipulated tape. It is pieced together, thrown out to a certain impression. We are here to respond to these evil
persons. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, let me welcome one of the fine brains in Ghana when it comes to the law. He is the Legal and Constitutional Committee Chairman for the New Patriotic Party. He is also, during the presidential elections in 2020, he was the lead counsel for His Excellency the President. Very astute legal personality to address us today. Please, let's welcome the evergreen lawyer Frank Davis to address us.
Good afternoon. I believe it's not getting to the evening. Or good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the media, and to borrow the language of His Excellency the President, fellow Ghanaians. I must apologize on behalf of our great party for keeping you waiting. We scheduled the press conference to be for 16 hours precisely. But of course, we had to work on our script and make sure that we crossed our T's and dotted our I's. So thankfully, you have had the patience to wait for us, and we appreciate it. Thank you very much for your tolerance. This is a press conference to address Ghanaians on the desperate act that the main opposition party, NDC, is involved in to shield Atuforsen, an accused person standing trial in our courts, from accountability. It is not in dispute that the justice delivery system is arguably the last bastion of a burgeoning constitutional democracy. And if it is constantly being bastardized by people who ought, in the very least, be responsible and know better, it leaves very much to be desired. We owe it to ourselves and posterity to rescue our dear country from this dark canker by those who have made it their stock in trade to spew vitriol and unapologetically take shots at a system they have little or no faith in at all. We have called you here because the NDC have since last week set in motion a malicious scheme fueled by lies, falsehoods, misrepresentations, blackmail, and needless pollution of the mass media, with the sole intention of obstructing the course of justice and scandalizing the criminal proceedings in the High Court, all in the bid to shield Atuforsen MP, minority leader in Parliament, and former Deputy Minister of Finance, and his associates from taking responsibility for authorizing some payments which resulted in a whopping sum of 3.27 million euros lost by the state, monies that belong to us all as Ghanaians. Ladies and gentlemen, you ask, how did we get here? On 22nd December 2011, Cabinet endorsed an executive approval of a joint memorandum submitted to Cabinet by the then Minister for Health and first accused person, Kesela Atuforsen, then Deputy Minister for Finance, for the purchase of 200 ambulances out of a medium-term credit facility of 15,800,000 euros between Standard Bank Ghana Limited and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Finance. On 1st December 2012, the Parliament of Ghana granted approval for the financing agreement between Standard Bank Ghana Limited and the Government of Ghana for the purchase of the 200 ambulances. By an agreement dated 19 December 2012, the Government of Ghana contracted a company in Dubai known as Big C General Trading LLC. In the course, we just refer to them as Big C, whose local agent is the third accused person, Richard Jakpa. And the company was to supply the 200 ambulances to the government, even though that company was unknown to the cabinet and parliamentary approvals regarding the transaction. By the terms of the agreement, advance payment for the contract was prohibited. Payment for the vehicles was stated in the agreement to be through letters of credit established for 25% of the contract price upon the delivery of every 50 ambulance vehicles. On 7th August 2014, in blatant disregard of the financing arrangement for the transaction approved by both Cabinet and the Parliament of Ghana, first accused, Kesel Atuforsen, authorized the Bank of Ghana to urgently establish the letters of credit for the supply of 15 ambulances amounting to 3,950,000 euros, representing 25% of the contract sum. At this time, it is instructive to state that not a single ambulance had been delivered. On 12 August 2014, first accused also directed the Controller and Accountant General to pay the sums of 806,688 Ghana cedis 75 pesos, representing bank charges covering the establishment of letters of credit for the supply of 50 ambulances, and further directed for the amount to be charged against the capital expenditure vote for the Ministry of Health. Ladies and gentlemen, all these directives by first accused, Kesel Atuforsen, were contrary to the agreement for the supply of the ambulances, as well as the parliamentary approval regarding the financing of the transaction. It is also important to note that Atuforsen's authorization of payments for the transaction was without any request from the Ministry of Health. In fact, the Ministry of Health had specifically asked Big C to stop producing the ambulances as there was no valid contract regarding the transaction. In spite of all that, Atuforsen, without cause and for reasons best known to himself, proceeded to authorize payment for the ambulances. Pursuant to the unlawful directives of first accused, Atuforsen, Big C shipped 30 vehicles in 3 consignments between October 2014 and February 2015, which were fundamentally defective and lacking in the basic requirements for an ambulance. In short, they were not fit for purpose. This was confirmed by a letter written by the then Minister for Health, Dr. Asempa, and other assessments by the National Ambulance Service. In point of fact, Asempa, in the letter to Big C, described the ambulances as ordinary vans, to wit, trotro. Interestingly, this same himself, Asempa, was sitting with them in that press conference. These vehicles were never used and could not be used as ambulances during the whole tenure of the John Mahama administration. Following the change in government in 2017, investigations commenced and statements were taken from several people, including the incumbent Speaker of Parliament, Kingsford Bagbin, Mr. Kweku Ajiman Mensah, Madam Sherry Aite Disease, and Dr. Asempa, all of whom were former health ministers, as well as first accused Kesel Atuforsen and other persons, including the third accused person. Jakpa, a businessman, for causing financial loss, abetment to causing financial loss, and misapplying public property. The proceedings before the High Court. Ladies and gentlemen, proceedings in this matter have run its full course since commencement in December 2021. The prosecution, led by the able Attorney General, called 5 witnesses in proof of its case. Lawyers for first accused, in an attempt to truncate the proceedings, filed a submission of no case and urged the court to rule that Kesel Atuforsen had no case to answer, as no prima facie case had been made against him. This plea was outrightly rejected by the court, presided over by Justice Ifeasewa Asaribotre, a justice of the Court of Appeal sitting as an additional High Court judge. The court ruled, among others, that the Attorney General had led sufficient evidence to establish a case against Atuforsen and therefore ordered him to open his defense. Atuforsen subsequently opened his defense and also closed his case. The third accused, Richard Jakpa, also opened his case and was last Thursday being cross-examined when he made a scandalous, malicious, baseless, and spurious allegation that the Attorney General had approached him on several occasions to skew his testimony to implicate Atuforsen. Ladies and gentlemen, why would any credible person do such a thing? Indeed, if the Attorney General had any intention of having him skew the evidence in favor of Atuforsen, it would not just be just for the Attorney General to continue the prosecution of Atuforsen. But that is what the NDC wants us to believe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is no secret that the NDC ever since the commencement of Atuforsen's prosecution has threatened rain and storm against government, the Attorney General, and any person they can find to cajole the Attorney General from discontinuing the prosecution. Pressure has come from every angle, including former President Mahama, the leadership of the minority in parliament, the clergy, business friends of Atuforsen, etc., etc. Indeed, former President Mahama specifically maintained the discontinuance of the ambulance trial as a condition to get members of the minority in parliament to agree to the recent recall in parliament, and has on several other occasions stated it as a condition precedent for the cooperation of the minority in parliament. This pressure stems from some warped and baseless logic of the NDC that the Atuforsen's prosecution is politically motivated and its leader in parliament should be immune from prosecution, even when the facts indicate conduct resulting in financial loss to the state. As mentioned earlier, investigations commenced as far back as 2017, making it imperative to ask at this stage, why is Atuforsen, the only government official, being prosecuted from all other former ministers from whom statements were taken? Your guess should equally be good as mine. Clearly, the prosecution is based on the various documentation available from the participating agencies in the transaction, and this is evidenced by the court's ruling upholding that the case has been made by the Attorney General that warrants an answer from the defense. It is also worth noting that the prosecution of Kesela Atuforsen commenced even before he became minority leader, making it worthless and nonsensical, the suggestion that he is being prosecuted because he's a minority leader in parliament. This logic can only come from the NDC. Ladies and gentlemen, if at all, the only prosecution in this instance is the malicious and perennial dislike of the NDC towards the Attorney General since he assumed office, and the several attempts made by the NDC to stultify his work. The records are there clearly to show that right from his appointment as Attorney General, the NDC has spent one of the longest periods in our constitutional vetting system with the hope of impeaching his appointment. But the Attorney General remained resolute to their administration. You all watched the live telecast of his vetting in Parliament, and you saw what the NDC took him through. He survived the storm, and is still our competent Attorney General. Having failed in all these endeavors, the NDC filed a motion for censure to remove Godfrey Dami from office as Attorney General soon after his appointment, but this also failed. The NDC have since his appointment held over 12 press conferences against the person of the Attorney General. What at all do the NDC want from this young man? The youngest Attorney General the country has ever produced is working in the best interest of the nation. Yet, these people will not let him rest. The latest allegation by Richard Japa, the third accused and an associate of Kesela 247 in this botched ambulance procurement transaction, is therefore only a further ploy contrived to curtail the prosecution of Atuforsen and smear the Attorney General's integrity and reputation. But this, I can assure you, will not work. We firmly believe that public officials, regardless of social standing, must be treated equally before the law, and they should be accountable for their use of public resources. Needless to say that the law is no respecter of persons. Ladies and gentlemen, the allegations by Richard Japa that the AG has on several occasions met him in private at odd hours and in person on phone to coax him to implicate the accused person is a complete variance with the prevailing facts. In fact, it is laughable. The attempt to selectively present facts without the whole is telling of the intentions of the third accused person. For the record, it is unacceptable that Johnson Asiedun Ketia will run a commentary over the alleged tape calculated to prevent Ghanaians and discerning people as such from making their own deductions and reasoned judgment. You saw him on radio behaving like a choir master. Again, even though from the screenshots displayed, the alleged conversation is supposed to last 26 minutes, the NDC schemed to play only 60 minutes. 16 out of 26. The question is, where is the rest of the tape? Even in respect of what was played, it is apparent that there are repetitions, overlaps, incoherence, voice-over, and distortions, demonstrating that the NDC has spent these past days distorting whatever tape they played. It is no wonder that even this afternoon, we are caught in the same trap anyway. Even this afternoon, instead of commencing the press conference at 2, they had to wait till about 3 o'clock because they were still doctoring. We haven't doctored. We are presenting to you the facts as they are. Even on that doctored tape, the Attorney General never requested the witness to falsify, fabricate, or concoct any evidence or testify in the prosecution's favor. You all heard the tape. Where did the Attorney General lure the third accused person to prefer evidence against the first accused? With the load of evidence before the court, how can the Attorney General manipulate the third accused person? Indeed, if the prosecution had not made any case against Atuforsen, the judge will not call upon them to open their defense. Let us throw those accusations in the dustbin of worthless material. Of who initiated the meeting. Even from the NDC's presentation, it is clear that even a meeting at all was called, it was mooted and initiated at the instance of the third accused person. We would like to put it on record that as of February 2022, when Japa requested for a meeting with the AG never met him and never made any arrangement to the Supreme Court Justice, Emmanuel Yoni-Kulendi. It was not until the AG was invited to the residence of His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Yoni-Kulendi in 2023 that he surprisingly met Richard Japa at his residence. We remain resolute and very firm in our minds that the Attorney General has never approached the accused person for any conversation, let alone request him to skew his testimony against first accused Kesela Atuforsen. The only meeting at which the Attorney General met the third accused person was in the residence of a Supreme Court judge, His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Yoni-Kulendi, who about 6 weeks ago requested to see the Attorney General. It is not out of place for the Attorney General to visit the said justice upon request, more so when the two were friends, even before the elevation of the latter to the Supreme Court. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are all lawyers, we are all trained lawyers. Standing here as a lawyer, if even a magistrate, a circuit court judge, should call me as a trained lawyer to visit him in the house to have a discussion, I will not, for any reason, say that I will not attend. But that meeting should not lead me to abuse my professional oath and pervert justice. Lawyers and judges drink from the same bowl. The judges are lawyers before they became judges. So if a judge invites me to his house, what is offensive? And this is what the NDC wants to make capital out of. They have lawyers in their midst. Would they tell me that their lawyers never visit judges? Again, the Attorney General, at the time of the invitation, was unaware that the third accused person was going to be present, and therefore his subsequent appearance in the House of the Justice was surprising. It is pertinent to note that prior to this meeting, the Attorney General had closed his case, and the court had thrown out the application of Atuforsen for establishment of no case as being without merit. The third accused had also, by 4 different letters by his lawyers, requested and made proposals to the Attorney General for a plea bargain, which will see Big C, third accused principal, paid 2 million euros in exchange for the cessation of prosecution. This has been roundly rejected by the Attorney General. In fact, third accused, through his lawyers in the letter dated 16 May 2023, had indicated unequivocally that they were requesting a plea bargain, and following the rejection, I requested the AG for terms which the Attorney General will consider acceptable. The Supreme Court Judge, Justice Emmanuel Yonikolendi, therefore sought to inquire whether there was room for a plea bargain, and the AG highlighted that he was not opposed, provided it was made in proper form, and assured third accused that he had nothing personally against any of the accused persons. The Attorney General further requested that since the charges principally focus on the public officials through whose actions the loss was occasioned, Richard Jakpa should show fidelity to the transaction records which were already in evidence. Finally, there is also a record that first accused himself, Kesela Atuforsen, had, in the company of a senior parliamentarian, visited the AG in his house to plead with him to end the prosecution. The NDC, in their press conference today, have conveniently failed, refused or neglected to respond to this fact, which was also contained in the response of the Ministry of Justice following the proceedings of Thursday. Why will Atuforsen go to the Attorney General to beg for a discontinuance of his prosecution, and the same person will, through another medium, say that the Attorney General is persecuting him? You can make the inference yourself. You are the best judges. Ladies and gentlemen, if the Attorney General desired to cajole the third accused as suggested, then the best avenue will have been following the third accused person's request for the AG to propose terms acceptable to him, and the several WhatsApp messages sent to the AG pleading with him. Clearly, the third accused person is a hired mercenary contracted to exploit his relationship with the Supreme Court judge, knowing the AG's inability to disrespect the said justice when invited after failing to secure a meeting with the AG. All this is against the backdrop that since the Attorney General was appointed into office, he has been, arguably, one of the most successful, both in and out of court. As remarkably noted by the President at the last State of the Nation's address, he has successfully saved the state over 10 trillion Ghanaian cedis, and his verve in protecting public resources is shown by his commitment to the prosecution of public officials whose acts have resulted in huge financial loss to the state. This is beside the other several infrastructure and logistical improvements to the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, including the almost completed Law House. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is the firm belief of the NDC and Atuforsen, if it is the firm belief of the NDC and Atuforsen that no loss had occasioned the state from misconduct, then they should just remain faithful to our judicial system and seize these malicious orchestrations targeted at bastardizing our judicial system and to prevent him from standing trial to its final conclusion. They should just keep quiet and let the proceedings in court continue. We are very clear in our minds that the cause for the resignation of the Attorney General is misplaced, unwarranted, and this will not put any spokes in the prosecution of Kesel Atuforsen and his associates. Ladies and gentlemen, the call for the resignation of the Attorney General coming from the NDC is very, very rich. The NDC calling on the Attorney General to resign from office. That is rich Ghanaians. The AG will not resign. He will continue to remain witty, resolute, and focused in the delivery of his work, as he does always. The wheels of justice, we say, grind slowly, but eventually it will grind to a halt. Thank you once again for coming to listen to us on such short notice. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawyer Frank Davis. Abusuafo Madarma. Asama ye ken ya asamo a ehu hia Ghana fo yi pa. NDC for adendada atro kontompo epese omudi mfuturo gu Ghana fo ani. Send be ya Omu penny our parliament I abon kwedu. So Ghana boka. Ghana actually sika. Odini pe ne namra kwanso no tietia e Ghana mraso no. Omu pese omu di dede atro nkontompo eto no so. Abusuafo asem ne say kona koto ambulance bra. Ambulance ahenu 200. Ambulance asema ye kan eye Mahama cabinet approve. Loan na o se koji free Stanbic banking so eno so parliament approve. Money adwumakuo bi e wo Dubai hyehye ho se emfa ambulance imra. Enhyehye ya na e wo ho ne se ansa na ambulance ni beba no ye ntuaka. Ambulance ni bedru yehwe se fata ansa na etuaka. Yera to force yenim niena ono pewo saa nhyehyeye mu yenim niena owom ne etuamu ne obenya firim yenim se na bibi ko ne kotoko ma ode ahopepre etro krata e de koma Bank of Ghana se Bank of Ghana enkotua nkofo ya omfa ambulance ma ye enkotua omuka ampa Bank of Ghana so ekotua omuka etua omuka wie nya no nko a o na wasa truck krata de asa kwakoma controller se controller entua eye bank charges sika bank agiye a editua asa kai no ense entua over 900,000 Ghana cedis. And so how? Ansa na krampo no letter na Bank of Ghana no na sabre no. Mami anya memfa ne kransie yi no ye minister in charge of health. Ne friend no Madam Shirley Aite. Na wa truck krata de akwa eye Big C campaign for your modu ba ye also the ambulance yi ba ya omode ambulance ntontro ba ye no. What track mom say mom emfa ambulance name. In fact, they should not even produce. Mom produce ambulance no. Na emom no. Omo twen say Ministry of Health kwanya nya sika. Ena contract so gusua enam parliament mu. Ye hu ne yekoye yakwakotu ankofu ika ankofu yin so mfa ambulance mu na ya. Ovan ya ye de koso humu nsawo mu bi no mo de aba. Ambulance trontra na anu a MPP aban ye di ambulance by obi ehun ye e call every constituency obi ehun ye Unkofa ambulance man, unkofa ambulance in Tutra. Ambulance is Ghana, Omanhene 2014 to 2017 NDC Efra Bemu. Omanhene Bibia Faho. In fact, Sabrano ambulance nearby and now a Minister of Health here, Alex Sebifia. Or throw crata the koi say ambulance we no potokasem or say any fit for purpose. National Ambulance Service in so beka say ambulance we omuntimi you see who the nipa tum kra nipa no kra bedu hospital no awu what bogana ka what the Ghana dream yed wakwa ko gina nsani bia ya bo kwa adu wan fa ye sika no anhye ba bi o so de hye ye ana wasa ma Ghana asa ahwere sika asemi wo court nyano the Attorney General nyamianum nukra nie o wakukudro pa wagina pinti se bema se o ma Ghana ahwere sika akasa aba no so nkomodi aba no so achopa aba no so ni nyina no wampaba yenkotie a opani ba ko o mo e friend Japa ono no say Attorney General frefre na najo ka try no say asem onka ni sei Attorney General anya sada san say Attorney General ordinary dance die nya na kwakodom court dada Attorney General ne mramu ye kan say we close the case wa yawie ne krata nyina ode akọ asem no ani da ho asem no akwakọ ese no ani da ho say plain ye monche mu NDC from say asemi de ne keka koyi de kamia koye say aso ye minority leader ne nan aso ne nsa ntie ne betwa ntoro tape ene omoboye no ya tro tape no aye doctored ya keka siani ya twetwe bia frim ya shada ashadem ade abefum mfidie ye de afam any ine tantantan yembe tuntu abonten na tape ba hana national chairman na stop it it has more no can play momo eh na dan ye cheche usu anya tape ba ya fe na tape no sabe run ho commentary asa che itu bo tape na edu ba bi obon sanim guase aba na osimunyina ho sumo ho we ya Attorney General asema na o kan odi lead no o kan sei o say momo man go so momo and Mguasia press conference no so wa dance ya Jaina Ghana for journalist mwadwimu pi na obi akoko fa tape wa keka bom in fact wo hwe omo WhatsApp bi omo de kire omo say Attorney General any papa ne kasa 28 minutes or 26 minutes enya sa tape omo boy enso no eya 14 or 15 minutes tape no omo boy 16 Chesa mako yi bia from the bia shem the voice bia piam from baby san se mutan go fredame etimu ba shem ye ne basa Attorney General Godfred Dame on resign or China obekos word in Attorney General. In fact, His Excellency the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Soba no be mana ya Attorney General obekos word the Attorney General no why na juma ye pa na Attorney General we ni case we ni bibia bowunkuro a wusu Attorney General tini ba bi e na moamo lawyer fo chiro krata de bre ne se ampa mohu se asem no mudi fo enu nti no mosre ne emramu ye frɛ no plea bargain ana plea negotiation sanse kwadu na odi abom no ma me ne no ntena se ne enhyehyɛ ho ne enhwɛ eka bi na me boy ya metua Muma sa big C company ya or this ambulance tontroi etro krata bai. Se obetua sika no oso obetua me won krata ni ya ha. Na enfa me wo jan krata nya mo foma me. Ni nyina wo ha sei. Company ni se onu betua 2 million euros. Otua wi obesa ba be fa eye na nyina ko. 2 million euros. Abusuan fon krata ni. We free a hole. Let us almost try. the lawyer letterhead. Let us omo atrobae. Let us omo atrobae ya omo ba be patch or say. Ampa e kanaba. Ye beba be for your ambulance to na e de bae no. Na yet you are 2 million euros. Edi amamo. And Attorney General said there be a big C company no. Ono asema ye di wo court no onka ho bi. Lawyer ni beka say big C no onye party to asem na ekoso no. Na obi asabi wudi asem a onka ho bi. So na no asem brew na say ne usa ko chase ni say ko peska na hefa na kwako hu no. And Attorney General said there be mo a mo ye party no say mo na mo de sa asem ne ba say mo na mo de ba de a ene obesom. Say nka wa ni boni a nka beka say ye obetua 2 million euros. No must have a facas nako. Eti ebra no obi di wani ma ode ukọ yeru agofreda me fie. A ukọ akọpa cho sa asem no nje mu no. Yeru atofosen. Wada pedie na ededi no. Asem no ye nka o media mu ye beka o kan no law court. Say yo mu so mba be dwane fi law court. No mu de mo nsan betu media mo boa. Enya adwuma ne enya adwuma kire. What Ghana ka? Go and answer. Where the Ghana dream? Go and answer. Yes, what Ghana chrono? Go and answer. And you have a fake tape, doctored tape, manipulated tape. You can see any. If I hear a message in this one, baby. Oh no, Papa Japan na air catcher. You are going for them. Say, "Opeso share none in your meeting." And I hear a girlfriend say, Unia, and Namunia, so the mammy who Unia, so a Supreme Court judge, your friend, Justice Emmanuel Johnny Kolendi. Or Bulls from Kodemano. And to Unia, ain't any arrangement no meeting cross here beyond Mayor Diafano, or Bulls from Kwa, or my Supreme Court judge in India. And the end is if what Daniel Semeni said, you are girlfriend, damn a person arranging meeting for what? Said there no be free. A okuta onwa na dance die a emodu abusuafo mesre ensamo a NDC for de betu dwa ene no eni nyina so bia eni nyina so ba ko sei eti asem ne die yewra atofosen mesre asem ewo ho a wo so kwa ansa court enye is ha ntro we na mo de be fa go fe down ma me wie a me ka sei me Attorney General for ye hu o ma ba mo ho ba kwa go fe dame for me is the best Attorney General Ghana yenya no young man abrantia o ye na djuma kama o wani die wo buo di mo bia wa hye da sua adwuma no no mbeso mo say no NDC for muntie on resign no china obekos wa ya na Attorney General no ya na adwuma se ne fata mo doctored mo fake tape ne mo akekan si ani ene mama ye ni nya no enkosi ba bia obekos wa ya na adwuma ye be hia wo court ne akan asem no wo court enye media mu ne ye beka abusuafo nyame hia mo. We are the new, Petro take part, the elephant is the winning symbol.
Is it Nanai? Once me buy me kasenga samidem fiasama or can be brainy na no kamianga za grand and then kaminga sa be because what tre adieno ashase ehini free na adia ma me be mu kran baby kabila aka say adentina public opinion e be propaganda. You see Omanhene asem no esi wo court ensi wa bonding and by our the court rules of court so be at the assembly to so now also we then we one who object in the assembly no by no jackpa or respond to a someone attorney general kind. Because on no many evidence attorney general Esorika say you can answer who defend the first accused person. And the me no correct. Me so me accused person. Now who krana who kasa achire me krano why engage me all times that say who person me den me be dia dance here first accused person no na mo di ni tum. O kasa asem no as attorney general no or as a party at that point no me say also who sorry now objecting your work no work say okay so when the evidence or grab it makers I'll put him to strict proof maybe no this is the way you go now ya can't say matozo one kasa when you know or can be more no cry cause say he wants to be on record here at court now say I want to be on record and next that somehow can someone won't pese beira and oka wina atoni gen na ya no na se wo free court aye kasem no now ba bontin be issue statement into the media na se no one na dia asem no epia bontin. You see, that is the point maybe to be at here say enya ndisi for na ba bontin be kasa yo eyo onu events attorney general and no ma ye issue statement e dey about medium. Once you do that no na ehun be here say NDC funds be den e be you man, and that is how NDC and the sinkonya ya church and nsem but there's very one important thing. You see, so about legal profession more legal profession a whole actor ruler a guiding a professional, and one of the rules is say unprofessional conduct. So we a lawyer ni uni who can say obi a people no wasem no we den uko e fa na jugran ne kasa, especially say onipa ko no lawyer. For example, say me any Kabila na nya asem na me lawyer ni Omanhene, Kabila lawyer ni Dominica. Say upa kasakura na the two lawyers will be talking, not you talking to the accused person directly. And by even talking to the accused person directly, no, that is not professional. That is the first one. The second point is that now Obiajatum said there was a tape, but Ebi say is doctored. Aramebua say doctored, say not doctored. The mere fact say the tape is there. Not say the attorney general, there is the attorney general engaging the accused person one-on-one. Is a direct conversation between, and where some of the statement, Dr. Krana, some of the statement, because Dr. Tape did me myself, I have been a victim of that, and to me, because Dr. Tape intimacy. But at least, maybe I see, I say it is not true, and instantly I came out and said it's not true. But in this case, you say it's true, but it's doctored. Now, if it is doctored, bring the original version. So what you say and you're correct there, and the original one of Fayden, Feno Bray. So the position of NDC is very clear. If Obi Ejina Okuno, Nasa Yedi Nasem, then you have the whole of the Attorney General. You see, the Attorney General position in the legal fraternity, or lawyers in a leader, and yes, or MPP na appointing into or no leader. No. When it comes to court, or no, that's some grand liberty first and the what I don't know to I don't know my uncle. I ain't mean for big case. Because he's the leader of the bar. That's the leader of the bar who indulge in this type of unprofessionalism. Omanhene, what I say is NDC na you block over. Nobody ya kasi esizu dia say obi ya boni afanu kokot. Odi no kokot nso afanu famra kwanso. But nye ekosui eyemra kwanso. Nye ekosui eyemra kwanso. As they say, obi Supreme Court judge or Tim Chenkra, then Achina Bishim. But when you look at the tape, it is a conversation between two people. At the point to Grano, or we Attorney General Kranasa, some crowd or can grant us or century anymore. My position is very simple, and the position of NDC is very simple. San Tony General na be issue statement to Abontia. Anka say ma Abontia. But once he has issued the statement outside, we need to also clarify and bring evidence to support what we have done. And only I. Into here, Kwame, Kromwa, yetini bebre, NDC fokofa, ambulance by yetontrua. C'est comme si we crack as yetontrua, we trotro or whatever. And then yetimi show pictures. I trust any yetontrua. 2. Yasa amma evidence a whole container siwa enema yedi guma ngede baba support ambulance no Ekosiise wa mfin wotwe essay 2 uba wenimu nso a se okase ato forcing and or sign letter na first bisa won say letter na sign the seal of the finance minister na esizo na se the seal was so there how and they say what is your point? Then if anybody should be prosecuted, there's a type of money also prosecuted. Because I don't know a minister. And also authorizing also on Yarameboa. So if there's any prosecution, then it should rather be so set up. In that didn't know. Set up I say, Minami man of Quansonia. Now Obian said there be at to force and I was here the assembly. It's in his war. So it is obvious. Says there's some malicious persecution going on. Ubia bonitrim po said atu forcing ye didn't betum. Na say atu forcing ye didn't betum so na ne farabai ne den eno na NDC tries on beche dreams o hwe niam cause for parliament levy ni we ni na no all informed all these bases. But the position is now clear. And some MPP bekan have they denied that there was no tape? And Omanhene say, we a lawyer, not say the ethics of our profession. Catch that we say. So be accused person. We and that's why we are Attorney General. We a prosecutor. Krana. And this one in the day, it sumuasi enkomo. Not say a whole Attorney General who names up way. Now will be the fact right our friend back on Krana is wrong. That's the first basis. That's so more. I mean, whether he will resign or he will not resign, that is his beef. But we as NDC, we will continue to push. Say what has happened is wrong, and for that matter, does not make him fit to lead this country. Not only as Minister of Attorney General, he's also the Minister of Justice. And if Minister of Justice na show be kutupa to the same kwasa okati obi kwa say ni hospital onkonkonko feni say ni hospital be kra onkonko fake hospital excuse and on famra. What does that tell you? And all these things, you see, when they came, they didn't rebut all those details. The normal vacancy and this was but they have not been able to rebut the details in the tape. In some would take Bumankasana a year as some kutia a year Attorney General. In one some Nomoko. Omoka about where would you be sicker, one more Maboka, one more Maboka saying. Omano a car wabono near Otto and the animal no say, okay, Mose Maboka, Musika and Yabitia. And I can't play bag in the papers are Danabi de Train. Play bag in a Yamra woman. So be a ye bibi no of for say be asemno me twetwe kosi kura na bibi ebe kosi no enkosi bibia anti mi ama by nim me no mobeka ye betena se na ebia bone no mobete shoma me ana mode we be esi ana mo be esi na ka bia o man abono metua enso se wudi mi beka kotum wudi mi kotum na se o man boka o man mfaso be ne ba asem so enti media my ready se me den metua na otro letters zabrewa onye bonibia and grant them you see we are not dealing with the matter in court, we are dealing with the conduct of the Attorney General. And no someone for you. We are not dealing with matter no court no. Yankasa will be prosecution no there be Yankasa will be man for at court in court. But we are saying that the conduct of the Attorney General, it is not professional and fit for somebody who is supposed to be the Attorney General of this country. That's the position of NDC. Very, very simple.
Okay, Kwabena.
Omanhene. Me dia opa wo me mu. Misuma o my Ghana. Misuma ya dachi. Misuma mabunu ene maba esuamra. Ghana ha abeye emranimfo atwaje amanfo. Wohwe suban a ye nuanom mranimfo bi eda na di wo Ghana ha. Na di nti America sasemi ni se. Nkontompo enye o. Nkontompo enye. Die di kan. Asemi de yati adansi ayati from afranu nu nyina ne se asemi ya anhyase enne. Asemi wa sendi bia no enye ne. Ena nkitahudie efa ho se yenyi obi enfri mu ma yenni asem no enye asem foforo akoso a enye owura japa no nko a na de na ne akba ai badwom a ye kan wasemi de di kan ne se eye date kra enni so yeah date ni so but bese na otwi ba kuntemunie no date was so in fact I'm say 23rd May 2024 na statement about out every attorney general outfit no enya attorney general na Troy a deputy attorney general Alfred Tuayeboa and now Troy Omanhene ma me kwan na men kan paragraph di kan or say the attention of the office of the attorney general and the Ministry of Justice has been drawn to media commentary by persons associated with the National Democratic Congress on an allegation made by the third accused person, Richard Japa, during the proceedings in court on 23rd May 2024, that the Attorney General desired his cooperation in the matter in order to secure a conviction of the first accused, Hazel Atu Forsen. And I'll say, for the record, okay, can sema or the kai or the buying. Bon, enti ampaso so. Na omu pie court no, sami jamfini central for akasa. Amanchiremu enunti na ne one unia no kasa no. Court reporter no say Kofi Asante. Oka say judge no fresh sami jamfi busa no. Nsema oka ye woni central for shy no, say no court room ana. But what you say? Enti nipa odi asemi di kan de ba badwam media. Yes, NDC. Mo come please casamity anudin.
Omi na kasa. That's what we do at court.
Me pacho.
No, that is what we do at court. If you that's what we do at court. Every case, no, two sides no the media. So don't say that no, that's not correct.
Me pacho. Kasa no. Ka say Attorney General the statement about public.
Yes, that's true.
Baba.
That's true.
I'm proving to you that Attorney General didn't issue the statement.
But
his deputy.
Attorney General, I'm referring to the institution. If you don't know, I'm referring to the institution.
So the institution.
I'm not referring to the Attorney General as a person. I'm referring to the institution.
Granted. Granted.
So please.
As someone who can say Attorney General Ediba Jomuno, Attorney General say, the ono de ba no oyi assembly no obi edi kan de aba no. Enya sa na me kan ye. And now person chair say statement now a free Attorney General office by or can say purporting to be responding to communication from outfit persons nipa wo mo kasama NDC no boa.
One say NDC o say associated.
Na me say na say na me kan ye.
But associated. That's right.
Or say persons associated with the National Democratic Congress.
That's what
I am making communication officer.
There's no point that there's no what he's saying does not mean that they have not also spoken to the media. What I want you to understand that anytime we go to court and we close, okay, you go ahead. Go ahead,
Baba. Ask Olondo. Don't do this.
But don't make it factual basis.
They canon. Omanhene, hwa de ma me di asem hu ya no se. Ya boko adu. Ya de subo ato. Se de wa kan no. The head of the bar, the president.
No, the leader.
In fact, the leader of the bar, thank you.
Wodi subo pa bono. Na subo na wodi bono no. You don't care about the appropriateness or otherwise of the platform. You don't care. If you say so be a professional misconductor, the appropriate place and I say baby potia ye call ekodi asem no ne bobre e general legal counsel. So what you anamo ko hono na wo ka kire Ghana for say enam say papa ye gu ne hu fi na egu aloya fo kuo ehu fi nti ye de na ko general legal counsel ye ne mu ka say no ye de adanside akoma general legal counsel say yen kan nsem na ye yen twe na so de to so bi am pese me kai minia Baba Jamal emra more strong principle be a friend no odi otran pattern we bo bi ko adua natural justice e kire say ye ma no ho kwan e ma oyi na no ana say ye tutina no nipa ni nyina no o say ye mbua no kumfo but the ye me ya ne say o kasa assembly court nipa na nkasa wo court nti oto mra bi ana say enkoyi sa neti ana me pacho tie nipa na nkasa wo no nche say onya ho kwan emeka meyi sasem na no da. It is not true. The person can have a right, but my maminka say mincho unia Kofi Asante my report previously sasem na adani asem si ye no then ne call so ma judge no frɛ a lawyer for no nya de omko ni chambers say attorney general ye hwedi wan ka hwe na papa no kan asem fa no hudi ye say the Baba Jamal kan I want to put it on record. I know kika ne nsem ade gu attorney general hu fi attorney general ka hwe then na judge no ka say ye ntwa so ne enko ni chambers ne enko din komo asem na ye ka no me de me say ama me di ho ya me ya ne say asem o sese nke e kana asendi bia no ye de babadwamu a badwamu no me ka sisu bion say it will be to only a propaganda effect without a lasting solution. And then ebeye number 1 yatemua and I say atemua for nankasa no ye toto o mo ase Omanhene ye ni bibia dan say ye mra kese yi o mrakuni ni constitution ye dan no and na de mu ye minyi otwi eyi adoa mo ye press conference wie ye NPP for so a press conference na mo visa Ghana na NDC na NPP nkwana political parties. Do you think Ghana belongs to you? And I want to make this point. The president became president with how many votes of Ghanaians? 6 million and a little over. Meboa. Huh? Omanhene. The population by 2021 population and housing census report. Yeah, about 35 million. Meboa. Mpacho uyi 6 million film. Now we another 6 million film. Now they are for 3 million count. Now 15. Don't you see you are in a minority?
As in politicians.
Ghanaians, yes, I'm even talking, say Obia or to Abanu B. Maybe to Abanu B. I don't belong to either of you. And there are many people like me who voted who don't belong to either of you. So what arrogance do you political parties have or think say more or my asemo ye kan wasendi biano mo de baba ye ping pong? It's so disappointing, to say the least. So disappointing. Now my men can't say way samu pa asem puma sibre mu ogidie say asemo a ye di wasendi biano ntenche bi wo mu a lawyers mu de be friend mistrial. Oman no wonim say ampa adansidie wo so wo ho say attorney general pese wo fa kwati kwan so no chinchim mra na lawyers e woma defendants no accused persons no one betimi afale for mistrial. Wonim sa adena mon cause house no.
We have not gotten there.
You haven't gotten there. Until hurry any day.
We have not gotten
until hurry any day. I am make some material say yes remu Omanga mu ohida dawo. But ye nya Ghana mamu because enya mu nko a munya mmemma dodo nkyai obi Political parties must learn and know that. When it comes to even votes, and I'm not sure. Say, who can say nipa eto abama parties in Kwakwa no di ejuma. Omanhene. Population, voter population. The last time I checked here, about 17 million. Me what? Say voter biya vote 2 ya. Take 17 million out of 35 million. Is it not in the minority? Yenya butre. Asema bane wo court, yen kan wo court. Okay.
Chichi wakasi. Ansana makata yo no obazize obakata. Obazize obakata. Obabanta wotu wo kaza we na obahana obayewe. Amahi oh. And me who say million is in my hands. I'm
worried the way the MPP and the NDC.
Oh, I am say MPP and NDC and I'm because
because we as because we boy and they secure all the strong points at a war especially
this is your understanding of governance. Good governance. I will stop it. I'm saying that I've always been a nationalist.
Our approach. That's why I expect to say Asempa is here, but in fact the court of public opinion, nobody can stop you. But we are fond of doing that as politicians. Biribia Dania be kasem surunko abonte. Ye koko to them so na nkoma yedi ono. Akona say me interest say the ekika kayine adansia obia no. Me say I say 12 di asem no court. God ye kan the court omo say dogo bi no abewu. Court the end
and I'm court no. And a senior court. And I'm a court no. Omo de another motion aba. Motion for mistrial. Okay, and almost seeking some reliefs. Okay, so TPR, Dr. TP manipulated, cut and piece together.
It's for the court to decide.
That is what it was not part of the court and
no, but you see,
typical the evidence are attached on motion for mistrial. No evidence on attached. Normally attached court record, a year transcription. Japan year to Tunano.
We count your main.
I have it here. I have it here.
Oh, let's say decision.
And the court.
You see,
Mr. Sunday winning your bro. And they
one of them is trying to buy. See, I know got on one because
yes, there are three accused for noon. Court transit 12 noon. No motion. Omodi akwa court. Aye motion. Miss Tran say ombezo mo chese o adina ye di no kwampo no. Enya de attorney general prosecutor na out of go. Wonya de ni ye na we entino. Sanity the evidence about evidence ni say Japan aka wo court say attorney general prefer odd hours. Say on implicate a year at forcing.
But I'm sure they will attach this dance here.
And I mean, see, Omo Kono.
Can I explain?
A year attachment, Omo the can as Omo evidence exhibit no more the can. Nasa tape no can.
Can I explain?
But a motion I won't say your strong point here. I Kwabena Wadarma, I can't even mean sape, me free her. Mr. Senena Ekano. There's a matter before the law court. Yeah. Attorney General will close the case. Or in fact, Attorney General will crampono. A year at 2 4 more Emma submission of no case on the court and a court case there be.
Okay, is that not?
Case they have established a prima facie case into answer. There be everyone can be a good
the submission a prima facie. Yes. So I have no case to answer. No saying.
Madam,
succeed with a
doctor, Mr. Maninga.
Anna. No vie na sem. Ena muna isi amopi mu defense. Kwabena asem we ama nsem bi wo ha asabe nke bia company fon kom nsem bi na nkakwa ekokuom. Hwe we attorney general ahon. There should be that relationship between attorney general any justices of the Supreme Court. Not only that, if Omomwe below, you should have that relationship.
Yeah.
Look, for Kwabena to be closer to Japan, or not Japan is saying good never. And because of Justice Kolende cousin, any Japan. Now, and everybody could have letters we see now. I say all the plea negotiation or plea bargain. Any now.
I've read all of them.
At a point when negotiation is breaking down, then Justice Kolende felt say no. Also, to intervene. Ne cousin the Asema about between him.
I don't want to even bring the Justice Kolende side.
By number body and a tape no one to you. And I take tape you.
But he's the first
tape in the
he before we played our
your chairman refused.
He was the first to bring
your chairman refused. Your chairman refused to call out the judges.
But he was the first to bring him to the public domain.
Omude WhatsApp chat be and almost say era Attorney General Kasa for 28 minutes, 26 minutes. Tape no more boy, you know. Can you say 14 minutes?
16.
16, you know, so 10 minutes now refuse no way.
Is that
they hear no more watch?
That is it.
I'm not going to stop it. They have played together, and let me tell you something. Let me tell you
cannot take that away from me. Your person will take as well this time. Okay. Baba Tia,
let's stop this.
Tape no more. Say obedi will be having natural conversation. That's all the tape etuja. Already who established say oh Kwabena no kwa no ne papa no kwa no nipa no kwa kasa 26 minutes. Ejenu who tape na mo be bo akire. Ubo tape na do ba bi anu ma commentary we play. Tape so tie ni ya. There were several repetitions. Several. Apart from several, there were several places you could see that the apart from that, apart from that, they be all to say a voice over. Who say Kwabena voice no kura na kwani voice aba. Na yasa I rewind the bibi ni akati bibi di ashem na say emphasize bibi ho no voice na pie
na won nyina be wi o court o eti me
they cannot Kwabena this tape omutu fan court da
okay
o do pa he okay enti mi kon ko play court da no because he's a lawyer he knows any admissible da
it depends.
Senior.
It depends.
Oh yes,
it depends.
That was the Oman filing a mistrial.
Oman fan and not only that. Because now,
so what basis are they calling for the mistrial? Their own evidence.
No, so what evidence they think? You have not seen it.
I said it. But I'm telling you,
Kwabena, no question. I then I also be do be I know be do be we finance minister contractor ba the ambulance ba ambulance no terms there be facts I'm not going to I won't go into a marital court I'm going to a marital I'm going to a marital facts na me dem facts na keke facts na say a certain authorization for establishment of letters of credit without recourse to number one your minister without recourse to the minister
they would just send into that said the those without but won't you be said I don't know
yes I make us the those without
almost 26 or almost 26 16 but no kasa
a general submission am dey can say that should tell you a distortion but no kasa me free submission with
Kwabena won no so
ben ka me sir
must go on court.
It is what you know.
Stop the media.
I
want to submit that for the sake of your judiciary.
I'm telling you.
And the sanctity of NBC, MPP, seize the press conferences.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know who has said it.
Can I speak? Can I say something? And I hope that
finally, resigning because why attorney general? In fact, he is the best attorney general Ghana have. Not targeting now.
Comparison.
Let's straight there.
Have you done
the best?
Can I speak?
Yes, Baba.
So Obe resign and non resign. It is his position. It is his right.
And then the right answer.
No.
Say a cocoa you could do dancing. I'm talking
asset now. Either whether you
are you sure that what you are
calling for to call you to resign. But it is your decision to resign.
But can't I also say that you will not resign today?
Allegations.
Can I make my submission?
By a party?
No. I'm saying that, Baba.
When I say we have found something as politicians. We have laid it bare to the public, and our position is that in the light of Weno on resign, that's our position. We are not, but you see, we can say resign, but it is your decision to decide whether you resign or not.
Baba,
because
Baba, even proud to this. Do you know? Preemptive said the SCBC when we are said that and I said ABC and you're saying that in the midst of all this submission no was right
so decided why did you do it thank you propaganda effect propaganda effect
Baba
in the first place Nanabi be a met market Nanabi say me
resign.
But say Nanabi resign is his decision. So one resign, we are saying say one resign, the president should do what? To fire him. It is his decision. But let me even come to the matter. Let me come to the matter. No, let me come. No.
The way
unpack it.
That is not the case.
He has done something.
Who told you that we are stopping here? Who told you that we are not stopping here?
Please, if you,
I'm saying that we are not stopping here.
I'm saying from your chairman to Sami Jemfi
to yourself.
The description that you have given Ghana's Attorney General.
Yes.
In fact, he's not fit for purpose.
Yes.
To sit there in that office.
That's
because he's been the law. Not simply tell me, sir.
He has an option not to. What I'm saying, what I'm telling you is, we as a party will continue. This is not the only thing we are doing. It is we will continue and explore all the options, including even reporting to the General Legal Council. So those are options that so the fact is, I know it's assembly, but there's something that we need to understand. It's all in the remit of the law. In this over no generate TV is not the dress there and crack the law itself requires that the one who want to do the plea bargaining, you initiate the process. And it is almost try. That is the law. So what must now too.
I'm just
a guilty plea.
Oh, it's not guilty. Babane, please.
The law says that. What is plea bargain?
Please. The law states clearly a plea negotiations. So you negotiate with the Attorney General.
Because you are guilty.
Hold on. Not always necessarily. Not always necessary. The law even because they don't want us to talk.
The company said you're going to get 2 million.
But why you? Because he knows that I'm setting the fact. Because in plea bargain now, or plea negotiation, it even includes over to me create you so beer. Why admit it over plea bargain? No way you know as even witness to a case. So there are all those options. So it's not necessary there or be any phone or anything or your plea bargain. Like this particular, let us know much on. They are not admitting guilt, but they want to resolve the matter. Almost say, on my first proposal, give it to 500 within 6 months. You 1.6. It's not much, waiting to share with the entire year. And I'm saying the second negotiation I can want them. And I'm saying the second letter by say you bet you 1 million.
So a simple question. Same from Sobia anywhere. Why are you going through all this?
You see, all what I'm saying is that in the plea bargain negotiation, you can plead guilty. You can even be used as a witness to a case. You can even charges can be dropped against you. It's all in there. So what man say? That's what I'm saying. That it's not necessily
charges can be dropped against you.
Oh,
by performance of certain conditions.
Of course.
Yes.
That's the negotiation. That is the can act different from what we are saying.
Plea bargaining. Yes. Refers to a process in the criminal justice.
Is that the law?
Why is this
explanation? No, it's not the law.
Oh, but that is
also Kaimran on them the law. I say I want to act.
Baba,
plea bargaining refers to a process in the criminal justice system where an accused person negotiates an agreement to relinquish the right to go to full trial in exchange for a more lenient sentence or some other benefit.
That guilty.
When you're guilty, why will sentence come up?
No, is that guilty?
No, somebody's reading the law. Why are you thinking that
if you want to plead for a lenient punishment
sentence, why if you are not guilty? Why would
let me tell you something.
It's a guilt plea. That's a full name.
Problem with him.
Okay, Patrick.
You see, trial itself. One trial can take you 2 years, 3 years, and you go through the drudgery of trial. There are a lot of people who say no. Oh, this trial, what is the end game of it? I want to do what? I want to plead bargain. Accept whatever lenient this you give me. I go my way.
Yeah, but you are guilty. That's
so no. That is what I'm saying. That it's not necessarily. I didn't say you are not. It's not necessary. Do you know that even in the negotiation, they can decide to say that, well, we will remove you from the
prosecution based on the condition.
Of course, the conditions will be there.
But still, that means that you say.
Well, I think that is the thing, because we are, when we are talking about plea bargaining, I just want you to understand, not to misinform the people. Let us hear what here. None of the letter here says they are wrong. None. Let them know. We be able to get them so. Almost all my accepting girls. What document I would buy? Be back home. Not no one. No, okay, no more can say. Asemi amukana ya here and fire who dear, but a begu ya hufi. So we want to resolve
about 5 documents in their
I mean, I've read all about it.
In principle, Senya Osikano and your sanity. All control. Say the moment over presses our plea bargain or negotiation button. Then what it is that all conditions be atum because if you say and your man course no different uncle ye into bejatum and your crimes in yes I plea bargain who could be a yazavina yes or could be into no debbie. But in this case no. And Kofoni Choba and Omanhene almost say almost ajatum uha omafum
Efo me ba me chewa de. Na sika na ye tua ye no, Omanhene ti bebia enfom so no no. Adenti na wuji tum se obetua 2 million euros.
Because it is damage their
corporate. You
don't believe the judiciary?
No.
I don't cooperate.
You are compromising.
Sometimes going
Omanhene was say pay 2 million euros.
Yes.
We are 2 million. Who say defective cars now? The reason why 20 January was because,
but even this, but continue to hold an interest in having this matter resolved amicably.
Yes.
We will therefore be much obliged if you would advise the terms that your office will consider acceptable.
Clients consideration.
That
admit guilt.
Baba, now what? Okay, Baba.
And this many when your problem. Now me bow one same way.
What did you just say?
A lot of oh, I am guilty. In fact, in the negotiation and in the drawing, they will indicate you are guilty. It's there. It depends on how they document.
A year big C for no trust alert and buy. And now at to force and let a troll cat out the by said he has no objection.
Objection to the
he has no objection. He has no objection. And now Attorney General a troll command say, are you by this saying say who associate yourself with the plea bargain and now at to force and say Debbie. You know why? Because the moment you do so, you have an admission of guilt.
I'm saying, sir.
And you tell me, admission of guilt.
Make us admission of guilt. Guilt that's a correct name. Omanhene.
The moment I began to
I didn't somebody like the
that's a legitimate question.
I don't what response to them? And this letter no please.
The letters
okay, Baba. I agree with you, sir.
So are you saying that at was an to be a man?
I am not saying
himself, you know. It's not negation.
I want to cassette or throw a crater. Attorney
General response for the Bible. So you think that Attorney General will make reference to a letter written by Atufosin's letter in his statement? That is what I'm trying to say, sir. That's what I'm trying to say. And Atufosin's out and challenges us. It is because strategically, if Atufosin admits or associating itself with data, it would amount to guilt.
What I am saying is, we are dealing with the court matter. That one we all agree there. If there's obia bonibi or prosecuting, but what is on the table now? Which I'm try say, what the amount for we are saying that the professional conduct of the Attorney General is at the question. And I will catch them say, "Oh, can I finish? Can I finish?
No way."
But to catch them say, "On we." Attorney General hospital excuse now.
Before then, almost
dishonest.
So what will be the effect of this?
The effect of it is that we as politicians, have you taken it? Every case when it comes back, when every case about the case, if a normal case, it has two aspects. One case can get a criminal aspect and can get a civil aspect. In this particular case, the case has its own political ramification because of the people involved. Because of their position in society, it has political ramifications. So the politics of it is what the parties are dealing with. But it does not stop us. And then stop say you take the further step for that professional misconduct to be dealt with. And definitely we will get there. Also, when my grown because so many document for the Mekachan say we will get there. Because definitely we are moving gradually, and you know, in politics, you take it one by one.
Based on what you are doing, when God rejects your application for a mistrial, what are you going to do? I'm telling you, don't jump. I'm not jumping.
Don't jump.
I'm not jumping. I'm showing you.
And what they are doing. You see, Mr. Wakan is here. Now Wakasa is more attached. Oh, no, me
they know why. That's why.
When you go to court, you go with your first evidence. Even sometimes, some court will ask you that, address me on it. Who address here? Whatever further evidences you have, you can.
Your evidence.
Oh, maybe you can add. You are a lawyer. And Kabila Nekasasi and Kamibumfu, but who is a lawyer? Because when you are going to court for this thing, you can file application, you can file supplementary affidavit. So you know, say we now. So the fact that Obi Agba with first affidavit does not mean that is the end of his case. It's possible, say, it's possible. Because me, I'm talking because I am not. Yeah, but I'm talking from the
position. It will be a subject of forensic investigation.
Of course.
That is why they want to run away.
Oh, who ran away?
It's who ran away from the doctored.
Baba, we are wrapping up, but I want to wrap up on this note.
1 hour wrap up.
Yeah, of course. Maye say
schoolmaster.
Assemble.
Yes.
Yeah, person will be jina bonting. Na modi asem KCC.
No,
move follow up. And yes, sir.
At the right forum. Can I say at the right forum?
We follow up at the right forum.
We will.
So that now we can have the
street proof.
Yes, we will.
Because I'm going to be painting a boss.
We will. I agree.
About our time. No, in the near 2020, we need election with 51.5%. I'll tell him. Royal Minion Penny. I take positions.
And in this matter,
Omanhene, Kwabena, Asante.